King. Tired of disrespect. It's getting out of hand out here. We gonna get into it though. Drop that beat.
Hey.
Just got some interesting news on my phone. Just dropped out Luka. We're gonna get into that today. But listen, man, before we do all that, guys, YouTube podcast listeners, Glow Yard Gang, MFFLs, podcast listeners. I said that right. Podcast listeners all over the globe. Listen, guys. It is the guys. We are back, man, with a brand spanking new one. We talk Mavs, guys. We talk Dallas Mavericks from a fan's perspective, guys. We got a good one for you today. Of course, you already know how we do this, man. We usually have our guests. We usually have those nice, long conversations, man, talking about the Dallas Mavericks, man. So we're going to get into that. But before we do that, man, you already know who it is. It's the guy that's trash can juiced down out here. It is your boy, Real. And joining me is the man that's got the jersey hanging up in the background that should be in the rafters of the AAC. And then it's your boy, King. What up, man?
Not much, bro. I got the number 2 up there for Kyrie as well.
Okay.
But it ain't about me today, man. You know what we about today. We got
King, it's always about you, man. It's always about you.
We got a couple guests, man.
But listen, we got some guests on. Y'all guys already know who these guys are. Good friends of ours, man, for the show. We're going to introduce them one at a time. First up, we got Enyi, Luka, in the building, man. What's good, man? What is good? My bad. Hold on, Enyi. My bad, Enyi. I got your intro. I didn't do it right. I'm sorry. My nose is itching. We got Enyi in the building, man. What's up, man?
Well, shout out to Larry yesterday talking to you, man.
Yeah. Shout out to
Larry. That's my guy.
Larry.
I can't wait to meet Larry, man. I got to meet Larry and have like a cup of tea or something.
Bro,
like, I can't
listen.
wait.
We working on something with Larry and Johnny B, man. We working on something, man. We gonna get that thing going, man. They gotta have something. But of course, man, y'all already know who this guy is, man. We got TGK in the building, man. The Garcia kid himself. Showing off out here, man. Got the Dallas
Hello, man.
You got more of an ovation than I did. What the hell?
Dang.
Hello, man. What's going on?
Showing favoritism, real?
I told you.
I don't know, man.
I
I
told
don't
you
know what's going on.
The difference between light and dark.
I mean, you had the icy Dallas background on your stuff, man. I see you out here showing off on the boys. It's all good. Listen, man, y'all guys, we appreciate y'all hopping on, man, on a Saturday morning. I hope y'all ate y'all a bowl of cereal with a little milk dripping on your lip. Pause. Listen, man.
Already.
All right.
We gotta restart this all over.
Oh man, this one's gonna be legendary, guys. Already.
Oh man. But yeah.
They gotta put that on the shirt, bro. That you right there doing that. That has to be on the shirt, man.
Need that on the shirt ASAP, man.
I'm flipping that.
Listen, man.
I'm flipping that.
Oh man.
I have no words.
No words. Listen, man. Like I said, glad y'all on, man. If y'all seen the thumbnail, y'all already know we about to get into, man. the theme of today is energy, guys. Energy. We need folks to keep the same energy that they would have with other people, man. I mean, it's pretty simple. I don't know why folks don't do it, but I guess it's what you get in fandom and in sports in general, man. Whenever you're covering teams, your energy is off for one team compared to another team. And when I say that, man, I mean the fact that when Luka got beat by Canada, the energy was different. Everybody was ready to jump him, ready to kill him. But when Canada loses, it was crickets. So you know how it goes. But we don't get into that last. Let me get into this right here first. We kind of talked about y'all two know we talked about this yesterday. Of course, y'all know. Shout out to Christian Wood, man. He signed with the LA Lakers. We talked a little bit about it yesterday. Probably a lot about it. There you go. Congratulations to him, man, for signing with the Lakers. I think it was anyway. You the one that told us that he could have signed with what was it? Golden State.
No, that was not me.
Somebody said that he could have signed with Golden State. There was a rumor that he could have signed with Golden State for more money, but turned it down and decided to sign with the Lakers. So that was pretty interesting.
Yeah, but something like that.
Yeah. So man, hey, I mean that'll tell you something right there too. It kind of goes back to what we've been saying about him really wanting to just go to a playoff contending team and wants a certain role and all that good stuff. But anyway, yeah. And probably had coach that talked to him and has communicated with him. But it's funny I said that, man. Let me go ahead and show this quote from one Christian Wood right here, man. I think we already talked about it yesterday on the members only, but we're gonna talk about it with everybody today. So he says, "I've always wanted to be a Laker. I know we can win a championship." Says communication with a coach is a big key. Coach Ham and I go back to our Milwaukee days, and we've had a great conversation every day about this opportunity. He believes in me and told me I'll be playing a big role and knows what I can do. I'm looking forward to this and for sure motivated after what Dallas did. I mean, we've been talking about this all year long, right? So, I mean, he kind of touched on it a little bit there. Kind of threw some subliminal shots at a certain coach, but hey, it is what it is. TGK, man, what you think about that quote, man? What you take out of it?
Man, look, think of it from this perspective. Soon as he got traded for, King has spoke about this a lot. We spent the first round pick on him, and what's crazy about it is from the moment we got him, we were like, oh, he's just this bench guy. Oh, he doesn't have much of a role. That's kind of how it felt. He was just kind of thrown to the side. And then we go into the very first game against Phoenix. He not only helps us maintain a lead, but he extends it. And then we take him out of the game. And for the rest of the year, that was like the theme. It was like, oh, we'll take him out when we need him the most, right? And I'm happy for him that he finally got a gig. I don't think he got the money he deserved because we as the Mavericks, not me because I would have started him, but as the Mavericks, they did him dirty, bro. There's no other way to put it in any different kind of context. They did that man so dirty, and the fact that he has to mention us in his opening statements to go into the Lakers, that says a lot about how deeply rooted those issues were with him having to play a professional. Again, I know Mark Cuban be saying, oh, certain players didn't want to play their role. I truly think he's talking about Christian Wood. But I'm like, what role did he not play? I mean, he kept it professional from our perspective, right? And I said it in this last video that I did. It's left like a bad taste in my mouth. Pause. It's a bad omen in a way. Like it's just not a good perspective. And a lot of the times you have to protect your perception. And the Mavericks are constantly, they're trying to rebuild it, but at the same time they're hurting it. So for Christian Wood, I mean, good for him. I know some Lakers fans have some delusions thinking he's going to be their defensive stalwart at center. But definitely he's talking about Jason Kidd in that opening statement. And he's pointing out the things that he wanted, right? He feels value in going to the Lakers. He feels wanted there in that purpose. So happy for him. But man, it just doesn't feel right as a Mavs fan seeing how we did him.
What you think, Enyi? What's on your mind?
Well, to piggyback off TGK, the big thing that stands out to me is the communication part, and from the get go, that seems that wasn't there from not knowing that he was even going to be coming off the bench when they were doing media day. Um, Coach Kidd said, "Oh, he assumed that he understood what he meant when he said something about when you come in at whatever time that you're going to be coming off the bench." And I was like, "Dude, like you're an effing grown up. Like say the ish, say it, and tell him that he's coming off the bench. Don't beat around the bush. Like that's some schoolyard bullcrap. You know what I mean?"
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure if someone of his caliber was thinking, I'm coming to this team, we got Luka, whatever. The only center that they have is Dwight at the time, because you remember he was traded before
JaVale
McGee signing. So he was like, okay, so Dwight Powell's the only one ahead of me, and I'm pretty sure I'm better than Dwight Powell, so I should get the start job. And that wasn't that was the case. Now, one mistake I made during this couple of days that he signed, I should have got more reaction of other YouTubers so I can understand where they're coming from, and so I can pick it apart. I want to know what those guys are saying. I saw the what's the other podcast, the two weirdos, the two losers, Nick and Isaac, F them. But they on their thing, they were talking about he hasn't learned anything, or at least that's what they said on the title. I didn't watch the video. And it's just one of those things that, and King said it. I've said it before I even had a podcast, but King has also said it recently, that fans take on the persona of the owner or something like that. I think I'm paraphrasing correctly or not correctly, but
yes, sir.
As soon as Mark Cuban got on that podcast and was essentially subtweeting Christian Wood, saying that he wasn't playing, I knew fans were going to eat it up. I knew the fans were going to eat it up, and I knew that was deliberate. It was making him the scapegoat. Where you got a guy who's talented, puts up 16 points a game in around 20, 25 minutes, whatever, how many minutes he played, but he did it efficiently, and you're getting pissed off that he can't play defense. It was like, well, who can play defense? Who can play defense is putting up 16 points a game. We don't have that other guy on the squad. And on top of that, we've had multiple times when it was down to the last shot, needing a bucket to win the game, and it was not Christian Wood that was on the court. So you have to, if you're like, you got to look at it as if you're him, you would be pissed off too. I would be. If I was sitting behind Dwight Powell, I'd be pissed off. I'll be pissed off if I'm sitting behind Dwight Powell now, at being who I am. You know what I mean? So I mean, shouts out to Christian, not Chris. I don't know him like that, but shout out to Christian Wood. I hope he does well in LA. I hope he shows out when he comes to Dallas, puts up 30 points a game in a losing effort, but still, completely destroys our centers. Goes Cody Zeller on Dwight, and he can shut up these weirdo Mavs fans who, whenever we talk about Dwight, we talk about the all the advanced numbers, but you can't, like, what about the ice?
We talking about any time of the powwows?
I'm talking, the powwows, yeah.
What you got, King? Oh, my bad. You done here? My bad.
Yeah, I'm done.
What you got, King?
Not much more. I appreciate the guests for shouting me out. Thank you. But Dwight
Welcome.
part 2. Dwight part 2 is now his next battle, I guess. The first game against LA instead of Dwight versus Toby. Now it's Dwight versus Christian Wood. So shout out to him for his next challenge.
So you're saying is he gonna give Christian Wood 0 and 5?
He probably will. And I think Christian would probably give him like 30 points.
Oh man,
I wouldn't be surprised if Lively isn't the centerpiece by that point. I'm just saying, bro, Dwight Powell cannot defend Christian Wood at all. I have no.
He's locked down, King. He's locked down. Don't do that.
But shout out to him for that one. So the next battle will be fun between him. Other YouTubers, I did want to touch on that. Enyi, they all believe it's a great pickup. Everywhere else, the Lakers just pulled off a fleece. You know, for now he's an amazing piece. You know how it is when you go to the Lakers and all that. But we already knew he was an amazing piece here. It just wasn't being utilized correctly. And lastly, with that quote that Rel put up, it basically just confirmed the elephant that was in the room, I guess, that we try to pretend wasn't the elephant in the room when he said the things that Dallas did. We tried. Everybody asked questions, you know, media and everything else other than the Dallas, what is it, Dallas State Media, you call them, bro? Other than those guys, they try to continue like it was no issues in the locker room and no issues between Kidd and Wood. And it just basically solidified that with Christian Wood saying that. So I appreciate him giving that little bit of information, even if it was just like a subliminal, as you said. But other than that, man, like I said, it was just everything we thought. Shout out to him getting his 2-year contract, his 1-and-1. So if he plays his butt off, as I think he will this year, he'll get a better contract next year, as long as he stays healthy. And I mean, I don't have much to say. Like, it is what it is. We got to move to the next year.
All right, took my shades off, man, and discussed. So, listen, man. Like you said, we talked about this yesterday, but let me reiterate some things, man, that we talked about yesterday. As far as this quotes he brought up, like King said, this should not be new to anybody. If y'all been following us for any period of time, we've been talking about this all year long. Yeah. I remember back when Christian Wood made some comments about all he wanted was somebody to just communicate with him. Remember, there was times he said that during halftime he didn't know what he was going to do or what his role was going to be because nobody told him anything, right? And like you said, Enyi, Kidd was over here kind of just like saying things around him instead of you actually being an adult, being a leader of the team and communicating face to face with this guy. But like you said, we have people in certain people in the media that they can have a whole entire video on Christian Wood, but you have not heard anybody once hold Jason Kidd accountable for anything. Yeah. You haven't heard anybody hold Mark Cuban accountable for anything. The two main people who like to run their mouth about everything else that everybody else is doing, who don't hold themselves accountable, are the main people that everybody's listening to. And that's the part that I don't understand. It's like I said, what he just said, this quote is what I know people been hearing me and King talk about this for the longest. We just said, like, man, just communicate with the guy. Yeah. You're not doing that. And what's the first thing he said and then around the opening statement is, hey, he's communicating with me. He talks to me every day. He lets me know what my role is. Something that Jason Kidd didn't even do. We talked about the fact that Jason Kidd made his mind up about this guy as soon as they traded for him. It didn't say anything to this guy. Yep. He found out about what he was going to be doing just like we found out. Through Twitter or through the media or whatever. And he was kind of, when they asked him about it, he was shocked, like, oh, I didn't know anything about that. And like that's the part that gets me about this franchise, man. And this is why I say, like, when y'all say that people listen to certain people, man. And it's like the part that, I mean, growing up, like in our age range, right? We grew up watching the games and getting an understanding of what we're watching, right? It's like nowadays, man, I call it a microwave society. Everybody wants things instant. Instead of you just taking the time and the patience to watch the games and understand and see what you're watching, you'll listen to somebody else and just take that and just form your opinion on that. Yeah. Like I said yesterday on the members only, it's like you said, Enyi, they'll sit there and tell you all day about the advanced analytics of Dwight Powell and how great of a player he is, right? But I'm watching with my eyes, I'm looking on the court, and I'm like, yo, this dude only got me like 3 rebounds a day. But you're telling me with these advanced analytics, he's the best player to ever step foot on the court. Something ain't adding up here. I'm confused. It's not adding up to me. I mean, 2 + 2 ain't 5. No matter how you slice it, it's not 5. And so you're telling me with these advanced analytics, he's the greatest player of all time. I'm looking at the court, he's gonna give me 2 and 3 as a starting center. Something ain't adding up here, right? But
even on top of that too, it's I understand that there's players that contribute to the game or winning basketball that you might not see in the box score or whatever.
Yeah.
I still don't see that with Dwight.
Listen, perfect example is a guy like Draymond, right? Draymond doesn't put up like stupid gaudy numbers, right?
Yeah.
But you see what his impact is. Like you said, you're not give me anything on impact.
Mm-hmm.
You're not a great defender. You're not a great rebounder. You're not a great shooter. You're not even a great scorer. You're not a great passer. Like 5 aspects of the game you don't have. You're not great at. So what else are you adding besides your locker room presence?
Why are they
like I said
crucifying?
before,
Why are they crucifying Triple J right now?
Exactly, because he putting up Dwight Powell numbers.
Yep. And why isn't Dwight Powell being crucified?
Because he's a great locker room guy.
Okay.
when you have great community service hours and you're a great locker room guy, bro, that gives you leeway to do whatever the hell you want to do.
Like at least in the Maverick locker room for some reason.
Yeah, sorry, you're right. My bad. In the Mav locker room, I seen guys who done less. Well, no, I can't say less because Dwight Powell probably the less I've ever seen. But I've seen guys who do what Dwight Powell done, who got cut off other teams or get traded or whatever, not in the league anymore. Exactly. This guy continued to get the contract with the Dallas Mavericks, get me 2 and 3. and all I hear is advanced analytics and how great of a locker room guy he is and how many great screens he sets. That's all I hear about this guy. But like I said, y'all killed Christian Wood. Y'all listen to guys like Mark Cuban, who, like I said this yesterday on the members only. Like, if you actually been a long-time Mav fan, you should have seen this coming. The Dallas Mavericks have constantly, if you have a bad season, you can go back. I can start naming off guys. You can constantly see if it's a bad season, somebody's going to be in the scapegoat. Mm-hmm. Everybody. So it happened so many times. I talked about it before with Josh Howard, with Rondo, with Dennis Smith, hell, with Jalen Brunson this past season, with Christian Wood. You know what I'm saying? Like, they always have these guys who are the scapegoat. Instead of you actually taking responsibility for yourself and actually hold yourself accountable for something, you don't do that. I'm sorry. Also, the whole Dwight Howard thing, the what's the boy name? DeAndre Jordan. All these guys are scapegoats, but Jason the guys guys who make these moves aren't held accountable. You got those other content creator guys who will sit there and point at everybody else but the main culprit. King, you always hear me say this all the time. Who was the common denominator on this team?
Mark Cuban.
Oh, okay. But yeah, he don't get blamed for anything. It's everybody else's fault but the guy who's the main common denominator. So, like I said before, if things keep happening from new regime to new regime, what's the one constant?
Mm-hmm.
But nobody thinks that way, though. You know what I'm saying? They, like I said, Mark Cuban could say the sky is purple, and everybody was like, you know what, he's right. Damn, did you look up at the sky? No. Mark Cuban said it's purple, damn it.
Yeah.
And that's what weird.
It's kind of weird since he's, taking control of the team. There's only been like 2 years, the 2 years with Tyson Chandler that we had a legit center.
Tyson Chandler said that on the show.
Yeah. Say that again. Anyway, what was that again? Say that again for the people in the back.
That's embarrassing.
Since 2000, he took over. We've only had 2 years when we had a legit center on this team.
And DJ Benga wasn't legit?
No, he was legit.
You couldn't find that jersey when you went shopping?
Champion DJ Benga, by the way. You better respect that, man.
Yeah. Man, look, and it's funny you said that too, man, because I've been touching on that for the longest. Since me and King had started the show, I've been bringing this up. I've been saying, yo, we need a center. We need a center. We're coming for the long. We need a center. Like King said, Tyson mentions that on the podcast. Why is he mentioning something that we mentioned it for the long? Like, if we see it, if he see it, why the greatest owner of all time, according to him, not know we also need this?
Bro, if and Brandon Wood, those guys are some of the best centers we've ever had. It's not a problem. I feel like it's no disrespect to them, but you've not taken the centers as seriously.
It should be more important now more than ever. Having a guy like Luka, they should have. They tried with KP. They took this thing, but we go into the offseason every year thinking that, or with the mindset, we need to upgrade the center, and I feel like it's been like that since forever. We need to upgrade.
This is one of our coaches, and Titan is literally a coach on the squad. One of our coaches is on the team show with the podcast, pulling up the smoke. and he's saying that the Mavericks have never taken the center position seriously. He literally said that on the podcast, said that they've needed a center forever. They've never had that center position. And I'm like, wow, man, like the coach on the team knows that, and the owner is still Mark Cuban, and we still haven't taken it serious. That's ridiculous.
You know, to add to like the two things Rail mentioned, like with Mark Cuban, you know, he went on that Pat Beverly podcast, and he was just loosely talking, and that was like a big issue of mine. But it's like you'll talk about players that smoke weed and how you'll trade them, or you'll talk about the value of players, the way their behavior is, and if it'll affect their contract. You'll talk about all these other things to make other people look bad. But the one thing you won't talk about is why we keep Dwight Powell. Like, you cannot talk about things that you've made the mistakes on. Why you destroyed the 2011 team. Yeah, you've spoken about it. You said you've given us why the idea was what it was, but you were wrong. And it's like you can't admit that you've made these boneheaded decisions. Same thing with why
that means you be holding yourself accountable then, TGK. That's what that means.
I know, but then on top of that, right, you let Christian Wood go. When, I mean, in all fairness, the Lakers look at Christian Wood as, or not, I'm not sure the Lakers, but they're the whole lore over there. They're looking at Christian Wood like they're 5 that allows AD to be a 4, which is funny to me. But Christian Wood would have been an upgrade over Dwight Powell if that was the case. We could have just kept Christian Wood at that deal. I would have kept Christian Wood at that deal. $2 to $3 million a year. Come on, we're giving Dwight Powell the same money, probably more than what Christian Wood is getting, guys. Like
Christian Wood make 2.5.
Yeah.
At a certain point, Mark Cuban
you can't burn bridges with talent like that.
Nope.
Right. And I used to be one of those guys that just drink the Kool-Aid, like Rel said, you know, without, you know, being in the space. You kind of just took it at face value. And then now when you're in, I'm not in the thick of it. I ain't shooting threes for Luka, right? But we're in the thick of it in a way. And it's like, hold on, bro. Like, what are we doing? Like, you let Jalen Brunson go. I said it from the offseason. You got to give that man the money. You better in the luxury tax with him than without him.
Yep.
And it proved it. And I'm just like, at a certain point, I just don't understand whether the Mavericks, Mark Cuban, are they doing their due diligence when it comes to running this team, and when it comes to how he goes about his podcast and how loosely he talks and his decisions in a front office, where I'm pretty sure Nico would have kept Christian Wood, but if it wasn't for Mark Cuban and Jason Kidd, here we are, right? So those are just some of the difficult things that, being a Mavs fan, while the hype is real, like I'm excited about this upcoming season, the offseason could have been just that much more better if we just had a better organization at the top of the throne, so to speak.
You know, it's funny, TGK, you said that, man. We talked about this yesterday too, right? The fact that me and King was talking about this. This is why we used to get on. Shout out to Larry. We used to get on him about this when he talked about who's to blame and all that, right? And what was the one thing everybody did this offseason? We praised, you know, Nico. Everybody thought, hey man, Nico is the guy. He made the moves, this and that and this. But then you got Mark Cuban, who supposedly now remember Mike Fisher also told us, we had him on our show. He told us, you know, hey, they moved out the way, they let Nico do his job, right? But then we hear Mark Cuban going on the Pat Beverly podcast talking about, oh yeah, we made the decision. We agree a group, this and that and this. I'm like, bro, so you haven't learned your lesson yet. Like, let this man do his job, bro. Let him do his job. Because guess what? If things fall apart, guess who gets blamed? Not going to be Mark Cuban. It definitely ain't going to be nobody in the Mad Media state going to blame Mark Cuban. So they're going to blame Nico.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And so that's why I say, like, bro, Mark Cuban can't get out of his own way, bro. And this is like, he think he's the smartest guy in the room. We talk about that all the time. He's narcissistic, man. Like, we talk about this all the time, too. And it's like I know people who get paid by this guy, who claim they don't get paid by this guy. You know how it is. Folks who get paid by this guy are too afraid to even say that type of stuff out there, man. If you put more of that stuff out there, that'll create more pressure on him to finally do the right thing. But they're not going to do that. Because I was going to blame somebody else.
What up, Bobby?
Mark has to protect the Dallas Mavericks he has to protect their brand, not be what the brand means. You know what I'm saying? Because being the definition of a Maverick is you're a standalone, you're different, you're unorthodox. No, F that. Like, just protect the brand, bro. And at a certain point, you have to. I think he needs an ego death. To be honest, he needs an
And
ego.
that's what I was talking about. Any TGK. That's why I said like somebody needs to say something, but they're too scared to do that. They don't want to bite the hand that feeds them, so to speak. So
somebody said that, I think I said it before, that the Mavericks have always had like a leak. They're like a bucket with a leak. They're always leaking assets and it's leaving and all. I feel like I'm thinking now Mark Cuban is that leak. Like no matter how much we fill it up, like Nico can have a great job and all. It's always that little leak of something Mark Cuban is going to decide to do to mess up. So that's why every year we're a little mad about something, because it's like, oh, something stupid that Mark Cuban did. But that's foolish. But I want y'all to know the Jason Kidd remark I said earlier was about Jason Kidd going to New York, not like Jason Kidd, the coach.
Yeah. I know. I knew. Yeah.
Okay. I was like, I want you to be like him being a scapegoat. No, I know he's not a scapegoat as far as the coach.
Yeah, because he did kind of agree with the Mavericks, and then
so Mark then used him as a scapegoat. Like, bro, that shouldn't have been your sale. Like, okay. And I need Mustard. I want to shout out Young Mustard and Andy as well. Either one of them. Please make a video about Dwight Powell. Like, why is he the center? I'm dead serious. Like, I need more YouTubers and all to like have those videos so you can click and see him like the Mavericks starting center, like where they're going to be in the center position. And seriously, please make videos for that.
The only person I seen killing Dwight Powell outside of the Mav fandom was Wilson, man. Shout out to Wilson, man.
Yeah, and Wilson as well.
He's the only one I seen, bro.
Make a video, man, please. Wilson, you as well.
Dwight Powell.
Please, about the Mavericks starting center and all that.
Send me that video. I've never seen that video.
Yeah, I gotta find it, man. Because what Wilson usually do like top 10s or whatever. I think it was like top 10 like worst players on the team or something like that. Yep. And Dwight Powell was the one. He started talking about how he don't rebound, all that stuff. I said thank you, because he talked to us about it on the show before. So that's why
he'll say how is he the starting center, and then do his little catchphrases, a travesty and all that.
We could do one, and we could title it the curious case of the powwows.
Oh yeah, that is a good one. The curious case of the powwows, man. Because the reason why I wanted to bring up the Christian Wood thing, man, is because what Enyi just brought up in the beginning of the show is the fact that you had other channels who dedicated a whole entire show to down Christian Wood, but didn't once hold Jason Kidd accountable for anything, didn't hold Mark Cuban accountable for anything. It's always funny how after the fact, after everything happens, it's like, like it's not the fact that, like King always brings up, you gave a first round pick for this guy. So obviously you thought he had some kind of potential if you gave a first round pick for him, right? Now all of a sudden it's like, oh, they didn't know what they got in this guy. So I'm just making sure you give up something like a first round for somebody you have absolutely no idea about. Is that how that works? And if that's the case, then you know what that's a signal of? It's a sign of incompetence in the front office.
Mm-hmm.
But Mark Cuban doesn't do anything wrong. I'm sorry. Shout out to Larry.
It's Donnie.
But that's Donnie's fault. I'm sorry. You're right. But yeah, that's the part that I don't get, man. Because like I said, they always have excuses for this organization we constantly see this every year or whatever. But they never hold those guys accountable. But it's always the people's fault that are the ones leaving out the door. But
hey, Rel.
Yeah,
I have one last point on that advanced statistics point you were bringing up.
Yes, sir.
So I don't know if you saw a stat. Someone tweeted me on it. There was this Dwight Powell, the plus minus with Luka and without Luka, and then Christian Wood's plus minus with Luka and without Luka.
Mm-hmm.
And I had to tell this person, like, you do know Luka in the first quarter has the highest plus minus of any player in the league, and who plays those majority of minutes with Luka? Dwight Pizzle
mentioned
Powell.
this yesterday. You're right.
Right. So whenever Christian Wood comes in, it's in a situation where they need points or they're already down by quite a bit, and it's never always paired with Luka. So his numbers are going to be skewed in that aspect. And then on top of that, Christian Wood doesn't get to close the games with Luka. Dwight Powell does. So Dwight Powell is always going to look great on the advanced statistics, right? Because when you look at the Canada game versus Slovenia, who put up Dwight Powell numbers for Slovenia? Toby did, right? And who put up Dwight Powell numbers for Canada? Dwight Powell did. So the difference is Luka. That's the common denominator. I don't know if my math correct on that, but I think that's Luka is the difference in that. And that's why Dwight Powell's statistics, his advanced statistics, look so much better for the Mavericks, because he gets paired with Luka so much. Let Lively be paired with Luka in all those minutes. Let Christian Wood be paired in those minutes with Luka, and you will see the difference. But because he gets saved by the advanced statistics, that's the only reason they see him as this person that can stay on this team, which If you're only getting me 5 rebounds and that's it, I don't know, bro. It don't make sense to me.
If Christian Wood would have started, we'd have been blowing out teams by like 40 points in the first quarter. We'd have been. We wouldn't have missed like any buckets.
It's funny you said. I'm gonna say the one thing. I'll let you go. It's funny you said that, TGK, because I brought that up yesterday, right? Like you said, people look at the advanced analytics, right? Whenever you hear people have these arguments who can't base it off anything else, they throw in advanced analytics, right? Because there's no guarantee, there's no definitive argument for Dwight Powell. I don't care how you slice it. So what they do, they throw in the advanced analytics, and that's why I always tell folks the advanced analytics are not the end all be all. The advanced analytics is to help you put things into perspective of what you're seeing, right? And like you just said, those advanced analytics can be miscued because people don't think of it like that. As far as your stuff look good because of who you. I said this yesterday. It depends on what lineup you're with, who you're playing with. Why your advanced analytics look a certain way.
The advanced analytics don't tell the whole story.
It does not tell. That's why I used to always say this all the time, man. Shout out to Fred, and he used to always hear me say it all the time, bro. Watch the games, bro. Watch the games, because if you're not literally watching the games and you hear these advanced analytics. Like I said, you can hear the advanced analytics of Dwight Powell. You think this guy's the greatest center to ever step foot on the planet just from his advanced analytics. But if you actually are watching the games, go in there and watch the game with your own eyes, get an understanding of what you're watching, you're going to see that Dwight Powell's pure, unadulterated trash. You know what I'm saying? So that's the part that I hate that part, bro. That's why I say, like, people just take that. That's why you start trying to throw out advanced analytics, I ignore you, bro. Because that tells me right there you're not watching the games.
If you lead with that.
Yeah, you lead with that. That tells me right there you're not watching the games, bro. Like, there's no advanced analytic in this world that's gonna sit there and tell me Dwight Powell's a good player. I'm sorry.
No.
But we can say any.
I honestly I forgot.
My bad, bro. I had to touch on that because what TGK said. I said that yesterday on when we talking to Larry and them. I said that on the show yesterday. I talked about because Larry like to throw out those advanced analytics numbers, right? It's like, bro, like King told him yesterday, bro, I'm watching the games and I'm telling you what I'm seeing with my own eyes. Yeah. This guy better than that guy or whatever. No, the analyst said this number, that number. I don't listen to that.
His pick and roll numbers, he's the number one pick and roll person. I'm like, well, who's number two?
Yeah. Like
Christian Wood on 1 year. You had how many years with Luka and Dwight, and then Christian Wood comes in out of effing nowhere and puts up damn near the same numbers as Dwight.
That's what
one thing that, and the one
like
thing
TGK said, when you put him with Luka, look at his numbers can do.
Yeah.
You know Christian Wood was the most efficient role player in the league last year.
But that's according to your fellow Mad Media State. They said that's not the case.
It don't matter. Hold on. But this is the issue I be having. Dwight Powell was close. Dwight Powell was close. You good? So when it's him being close means that it's okay. It's a close thing, and Christian Wood don't. I'm sorry, Christian Wood usually, like, what was the conversation with like KP or not KP? Somebody had 3.5. We talked about DeAndre Ayton and
Miles Turner.
DeAndre Ayton had 1.5 blocks, and Miles Turner had 3 or whatever, 3.5. And I was like, well, DeAndre Ayton is good enough and all. But he's like, but Miles Turner is way ahead, so he's a greater defender. And I'm like, but with Roman, like Christian Wood was number one. Why doesn't him being number one is like, whoa, he's the number one guy. It's like, but Powell's close enough and all that stuff. I'm like, man, I don't get it.
Yeah. Here's the crux of the situation. At the end of the day, if you can't shoot, can't dribble, you can't rebound. So that's like most things you can't pass. Like most things you need as a center. Then you toss in, can't block shots. You can't even deter people from going to the basket.
Is anybody scared of going to the basket on you?
People are not scared of Dwight Powell going to the basket. They rise up. And at the end of it, once you start seeing that, it needs to be he's gone. Or at the end of the bench. I get it. He can be like, Christian Wood didn't know where to go. I get it. But he still, like I always said, he lucked into more defensive stops than Dwight Powell, knowing where to go.
Yep.
Enyi, I asked this question yesterday because you know the one thing everybody always says about Dwight Powell, which this is the stupidest excuse I've ever heard in my life. I've never heard no other player had this excuse. He's always in the right spots.
In the right position.
Yeah, always in the right position. Have you ever heard that with any other player in the history of basketball? What the hell does that mean? I'm in the right spot, but I can't stop you from scoring.
Yeah.
I'm always in the right spot for a DP.
And I remember,
you know what I'm saying? Like, that makes no sense, bro. Like,
hey, yo.
I'm in the right spot. Yeah, hey, you caught that late.
Pause.
That's the real pause, but that's for him though. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, for him. That's why they say pause. That's for him.
For a DP.
Yeah. But yeah, that's why I said, bro, like, when people say that he's in the right spot, what the hell does that even mean, bro? Like, he's in the right spots. I don't understand what that means. You in the right spot, but you still trash at defense.
Yeah.
Like, if you trash at defense, what matter? What difference does it make if you're in the right spot or you're not? Yeah. You're trash.
Give me the guy that can at least contribute.
I'd rather be in the spot and be trash. That makes no sense. Don't give me nobody that's trash.
That's what a lot of people said. It was the one thing that it was so perplexing. Like nothing. It confuses me more. It's like, okay, both our centers are not good. Like, okay, let me ask you. You guys are running a team. You got two centers.
Mm-hmm.
Both of them are not good at defense, but only one of them is not good at offense. Which one do you go with?
The one not good at offense.
Good at one side of the ball instead of the one.
Yeah, you go with the one not good at offense.
Side.
Yeah, I want my center to not be good on both ends.
Yo, if the issue that Christian Wood didn't get play was because he didn't know his role, as Mark Cuban said in the podcast,
what was his role supposed to be?
That's a reflection of the organization, right?
Like, it's a
reflection of the organization. They're supposed to.
That's Christian Wood's fault. He's supposed to automatically know what he's supposed to read their minds and know what his role is when he comes in. Come on, TGK, you know how this goes, bro. Don't do that.
I'm just saying, but the role that kid, the GM, and the owner play is, all right, here's your role. This is your purpose. We need you to buy into this, and quote unquote, like, they have to establish that. They have to communicate and make sure he understands everything that we need as a team. And the fact that Jason Kidd said he was going to come off the bench after we started him and he didn't know, that is a reflection of the organization.
Gotcha. So communication. Okay. I thought my bad, TGK. I thought you was reading the quote. I'm sorry. You said communication.
To also go back on what Cuban was saying, he was saying he wasn't playing his role. What's his role supposed to be?
Hold on. You know what's funny about that, Enyi? He didn't even know his role. You want to know why? Okay. Let me show you again.
If you have Christian Wood on the team, what do you want Christian Wood to do?
The coach didn't communicate it with him. How am I supposed to know when I'm? That's like you going to work and you starting a job and they just say just go do your job. What am I here for? What am I supposed to do? Yeah. The person don't tell you what you're supposed to do. Just go work. And if you don't work out, it's your fault.
Clutch points. That's okay, right? We can. That's legit, correct? Okay. So shout out. No, clutch points meaning the article and all that. Like, is that a legit article?
I guess.
I guess so. I never heard.
All right, I'm gonna read it out. Shout out to Frank for tagging us in this. It comes from ClutchPoints.com. Quinn Allen is the author. It says rumor Christian Wood's 2022 trade to Mavs wasn't approved by Jason Kidd. Mavs head coach Jason Kidd reportedly never approved the team trading for Christian Wood back in June of 2022. Christian Wood has officially found a new home after signing a 2-year deal with the Los Angeles Lakers in free agency. But that was partly because the Dallas Mavericks weren't interested in bringing him back, and it appears Mavs head coach Jason Kidd never gave the green light to the organization trading for Wood in June of 2022. Then it says that speaking on Hoop Collective podcast and all that, Tim McMahon spilled the tea and all that. And then it says straight up, Jason Kidd did not want Christian Wood. ESPN McMahon said that trade was made without Jason Kidd signing off on it. That's a bit hard to understand considering the big man has scored the rock at a high rate throughout his career, although he's bounced around a lot. And to be honest, I don't think Wood was too keen on running it back with the Mavs anyway, considering his role in 2022, 2023. The veteran made just 17 starts in 67 contests, averaging 16.6 points per game. Despite having him, Luka, Doncic, and Kyrie Irving all producing offensively, Dallas missed the postseason in a disappointing fashion. While Wood has departed, Kidd now has Grant Williams at the power forward position, who was acquired in the trade this offseason from the Boston Celtics. He's a gritty, tough player who should fit in nicely alongside the two other stars. As for Wood, he'll be looking to make his presence felt in the Lakers' second unit and should see his fair share of minutes as the backup for Anthony Davis, who pushed LA to sign him.
King, listen, there's a lot to take out of that article.
Yep.
What, AD push LA to sign Christian Wood?
That's what you heard me. You heard me say that. I told you you're gonna help him. He's going to help him.
I pray to God that Larry heard that. Matter of fact, King, if you can you tag Larry? Tag Larry in there, please.
Top 75 player, Christian Wood.
Listen, there's a lot to take out of that, bro. Listen, a couple of things out of that. King, I hate to keep tooting our horn here, bro, but have we not been saying this all year long? And listen,
that was fresh.
Listen, King, it's not even. Thank you. It's not even about like us reading an article. Like I said a million times, you can see it with your eyes that something is not right here. We've been saying this all year long.
Yep.
Listen, and the part that gets me about this, man, is like people act like Jason Kidd has had a track record about this type of stuff in his previous stops.
Yep.
So what he done to Christian Wood is nothing new. And we just sat there and said, bro, the way they're treating this dude from the jump is as if like he didn't sign up on this. Nico is the one who brought him in. We said this. Article just confirmed. I'm done, bro. Good night, everybody.
We even asked the guys and all that. I was asking all the people as far as the Mike Fishers, the Noahs, excuse me, what's his name? Landon, everybody else.
Grant Asset, yeah.
Are they a community, or do they have power? Does Nico have exact power and all that? And it's like, oh well, yeah, Nico has power, but they're kind of like a community. I'm like, well, that doesn't sound like one guy's power. They're a committee.
Positive spin. Mm-hmm. I do like that the GM made a move because the one thing I was scared of was,
I think I know what you're gonna say. Go ahead.
That Nico and Kidd were package deal. And that move kind of made it real that they're not.
Nico didn't.
So there's a real possibility if Jason Kidd continues to fuck up that
he could beat that. Thank you.
But hold on. That would be true. So there's the negative spin to it. That would be true if Nico was if it was a hierarchy, and Nico was up there and Jason Kidd was here. If Nico just that's why I make the big statement about the first round pick. If Nico gave up a first round pick for this man and Jason Kidd was allowed, and he's not in a hot seat or anything, to not use him, and it's like, oh, okay, this is okay. We're just flowing. No consequences, no accountability for Jason Kidd or anything. Then why should I think that Nico? No one has told me from everything I've asked, because I've asked everyone, if Jason Kidd is in the hot seat. I've said it to everyone that came on the show, and I asked them. They all say no. From what I get, he's the guy. He's the guy rocking it out. So that's an issue. If your GM is saying, I got this talent, and your coach is saying, well, who cares? I'm not going to use him. So what? Use the first round pick for him. That's nasty.
You know what too, man. Can I give a shout out to?
Trying to be a wet blanket to my.
I'm sorry, Enyi.
I'm gonna give a shout out to Bibbs, man. Bibbs kind of touched on this too. He brought up some of this stuff that's in this article a while back, and we talked about it, man. He talked about he talked to some people, and a lot of that stuff you just read off in that article, King. He mentioned that months ago. We talked about the fact that they were playing with Christian Wood's money. We talked about that too. Oh, yeah. And like I said, man, when Christian Wood kind of said a couple things, he didn't give an overall broad answer on what was going on in Dallas, but he pretty much said, hey, the way I was treated in Dallas and communication. That was the two things. And we talked about that from jump. We said, hey, it was kind of weird that Jason Kidd made a comment about this guy before we even saw this guy put a uniform on. You know what I'm saying?
It felt like Quinn basically was listening to our show and was reciting it. Between him and Tim McMahon, all the stuff in his article. This is wild. Like, the trade was made without J.K. signing off. Like, I don't know how many times me and you have been sitting there like, are they against each other? They're not the same people. They didn't sign. Nico never signed Jason Kidd. Like, all of that. Oh man, it's just everything. And thank you, Frank. Again, appreciate you, Frank. Like, I had never read this article, guys. Like, he just sent it to me, and I think he tagged you as well, TGK, and all that.
That's saying a coach doesn't use his best pieces to win because other ego problem or whatever.
Other Mavs media, all these other Mavs media, and all, we were crazy. What were we talking about? There's no like everybody else pretending like it doesn't exist. That's the issue. Like we talked about this all year.
You know, Joaquin.
All year though, Rel. Like this all year. And saying, what's the issue? Is somebody going to say anything? And it's like, no, everything's okay. Oh, what is going on? There's no problem with Christian Wood. No, you just don't want Christian Wood because you don't see how bad he is on defense and all that bull crap. And we're saying, like you said, Rel, we're watching it with our eyes. I'm watching it with my eyes, and I can see Christian Wood comes in the game and helps you go from an 18-point deficit to a 2-point lead. And then you throwing him out there without Luka, like saying, well, take him out now. The score goes back down, and then you throw them in fourth quarters when you're getting blown out and all saying, well, why is it plus minus negative? Because you threw them out there at the end, and they were getting blown out still. Like, bro, I can watch the game and see what he did. Bro, it makes me upset watching this. Like we said everything, man. AD wanted them. I literally said on this show, man, you need to get it if you have a weapon. You get a guy beside him, Enyi. You get a guy beside him. Shout out to Dirk.
Luka didn't have a problem with him.
No, it's not a Luka problem. It's just AD wanted him because when you get a guy, you get a talent like a Dirk Nowitzki and all that. Not saying Christian Wood is Dirk, but like a guy that's an offensive beast. You protect him. You don't throw him away and say, "Hey, well, I'm gonna give you Dwight Powell instead." Hell no. You get somebody around him that can then make up for his deficiencies. That Anthony Davis can play with Christian Wood and make Christian Wood look amazing when they're on the court together.
And then keep AD away from guarding centers. This is a win-win. That's how you construct the team.
Enyi.
Isn't that crazy? That's wild.
Yep, and you allow LeBron to have an open floor to play with. Give them all the open space they need.
But now, like, yeah, you're right, TGK, because you put AD and Christian Wood out there, man. That's more space.
Yes, they both can shoot. They both can shoot, and they still got length. Christian Wood now becomes a better defender because he's beside Anthony Davis.
And not only Anthony Davis, you put a Vando or somebody at the 3 that's a wing with him.
Yeah,
like you said,
that can play deep. Yeah,
you see how Rui got? You see how all those guys got a little better on defense? Rui was looking good on defense. Like
Rui can play the 2.
Yeah. You feel what I'm saying?
Remember they put him in the starting lineup because of his defense. His defense got good.
He was the best person in the playoffs against Joker, wasn't he?
Yeah,
wasn't it him?
Like,
come on, man! You construct a team like Nico. I feel like Nico is a baller that can construct, and obviously Jason Kidd, one of the greatest top 5 point guards of all time. You would think he would know that, but bro, we gave up a first round pick for this talent. It's a travesty that you're not using them, man. Like something's wrong. I don't understand how other folks. Shout out to Larry again. Like, how can you cannot see that and say, bro, we gave a first round pick, and then say, well, think about it as a second round pick because you got Jaden Hardy. No, we didn't. That's not how it works. We should have got another first
that excuse pick right there is to cover up for the front office's mistakes.
Bro,
but this thing that gets me is like the fact that if your GM now, remember, Jason Kidd's the one who kept reiterating that you the boss, or whatever, right? Yep. So if your boss gives you something to use to do your job and you don't use it and the job fails, who is that on?
Said it was condescending, huh?
So this is like you said, King, and we don't hear Jason Kidd being on the hot seat or anything like that. We see an article like this coming out, kind of reiterating things we've been talking about literally all year because we've seen it with our own 2 eyes. We didn't need nobody to tell us this was going on. This just confirmed what we've been talking about because those are guys who are in the know, who know what's going on. You know what I'm saying? It's like, well, damn, we've been saying this all year long. Now we don't look so damn crazy now.
The thing that makes me mad is that there were so many good coaches that were available this year.
Enyi, listen to me, Enyi. This is what I need you to do. I need you to listen to me.
Like, we had a chance at Nick. We had a chance at Ime. Like 2 coaches that have been in the finals. Low key, that Western Conference Finals run has kind of been a curse in disguise.
You said Rick Carlisle?
Listen, Enyi. I wanted Jamal Mosley. I wanted Jamal Mosley. This is before me and King got together. I said this. Shout out to Jay and Will. I said this when we were all together. I said, bro, I wanted Jamal Mosley.
Will we have Kyrie if we didn't have Kidd? I don't know. I think.
Listen, Kidd's not the reason why we got Kyrie though.
I think Kyrie would have loved Jamal.
I think Kyrie would have still came because we had Nico.
Yeah,
as long as we wanted it to.
Also, too, Jamal Mosley has a reputation around the
traded.
league with the players too.
He was traded, so he didn't have a say in not coming. But I think
you talking about re-signing.
Re-signing, yeah. I think Nico.
I think after those couple of months playing with Jamal, bro, when you hear how the players talk about playing for Jamal,
that's what
Orlando gonna be amazing. They setting up.
This is what I said when we was looking for a coach or whatever, right? I said this about Jamal.
They do say the same. No, I don't say the same, but they do kind of talk highly of Kid. But
But I said, listen. The one main reason why I said you should look at Jamal Mosley is because Luka loves the hell out of him.
Mm-hmm.
I said that. I said he has a reputation with other players around the league, like you just said. Folks talk highly about this guy. He's been in the organization, so you have an understanding of how he operates. He's been with the organization for like 8-9 years or whatever, right? So he has a rapport with the organization. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like, and we've seen him take over games when Rick Carlisle got ejected, right? We've seen him coaching and how he put guys in certain positions and stuff like that. So I was like, why you didn't just look at this guy and try to give him a chance?
Not even an interview, bro.
Not even one interview. Not even thoughts.
Not even an interview. A guy in your organization, you said Jalen Brunson. But let me ask you this: Do players or coaches talk highly about Coach Kid?
I think players talk highly about him, but because of what he did as a player.
Yeah. Have you ever heard a coach? Or
Only
somebody
Rick
that's
Carlisle?
been a coach before. Now Rick Carlisle was condescending again.
Oh.
Have you ever seen? I'm just keeping it real.
I haven't necessarily heard a coach.
Or anybody that's been a coach on TV or something like that, like say like a Stan Van Gundy when he's on TV, or somebody talk highly of Jason Kidd or talk in question of Jason Kidd.
Yeah, I haven't heard a coach.
Coaches they don't believe in Jason Kidd as a coach. Players like Jason Kidd, as far as like you said,
Jason Kidd because of what he did
of the player that he was. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I've never heard a coach talk highly of Jason Kidd. That's just, I mean, if somebody has a clip, want to show it to me or send it to me, I've never. And I watch quite a bit of TV, like the other stations and all that, as far as on YouTube. So I've never heard it.
Well,
I've always seen players talking about it.
Despite all that, I'm still excited for the season.
I am.
Yeah, I am too.
Hold
on a bit. I was going to ask King when you brought that up with that article. So did Jason Kidd sign off on Grant Williams?
Hey man, who's going to tell us?
Better have.
I mean,
we'll find out.
He signed off on him until he doesn't work.
Gotcha. Okay, just making sure because, like I said, you didn't sign off on Christian Wood and you sabotaged this season. Did you sign off on Grant Williams? I don't want to hear nothing. We got Grant Williams for 3 years. I don't want to hear nothing about later on. Oh, he didn't sign off on him. That's why he only got like 20 minutes a game.
I want to ask our guests. Though, if the season doesn't work, who's the scapegoat? Enyi and TGK.
My fear is
going to choose. Oh, okay. Just making sure you knew.
But it's hilarious. You know, what's his name didn't get burned because he wasn't signed off by Kid, but then you get the guy who you wanted in JaVale McGee.
Mm-hmm.
That turned into an utter shit show. So what is that?
Didn't we get JaVale McGee after Christian Wood?
We did get him after. That was the guy.
You know how disrespectful that was to Christian Wood. That's what I'm saying. Christian Wood got picked up traded for a first round pick to come over here thinking he's going to play for a team.
Mm-hmm.
They got Jason Kidd never told him he's going to be on the bench.
Mm-hmm.
They went and signed JaVale McGee
3
and
years
said
ago.
Out of his mouth, and then Jason Kidd. Here we
3
go.
years ago, a player option to a 35.
And that's why you got to pay attention.
Backup center.
That's why I pay attention and not just what's being said, but how it's being said and stuff like that.
Yeah.
What was the first thing that Jason Kidd wanted to be known though with JaVale McGee?
That he was a starter.
He was a starter.
Yep.
That was directed towards Christian Wood from the beginning.
To answer the question, the real answer to who should be the scapegoat this season is Jason Kidd.
He definitely should. But
that should be the real answer.
That's not gonna be the answer. But who are they gonna make the scapegoat?
I mean, I honestly, who is the Mavericks gonna make, or like the entire media in general?
Well, the media's gonna only go by what the Mark Cuban them say is the
talk about the Mac State media.
Yeah.
Oh,
well, I think the media at large will go for Kyrie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the national media probably say Kyrie, but we're talking about within
actually, I think the national media is already showing their showing their deck, showing their cards. They're already starting to turn that this is a nice segue into the Luka hate. I think they're starting to segue into Luka. So I think the national media is going to put more pressure on Luka, but for the Mavs state media, Kyrie's the easy cop out answer right there. To be honest,
you're right though. The national media, I feel like it's because Kyrie was on his best behavior with the Mavs, and I think a lot of folks know it that really watched the game was like there was no way it was Kyrie's issues that the Mavericks failed at the end of the year. That wasn't Kyrie's fault at all. So with that being said, they started putting more pressure on Mark Cuban in the front office this offseason as far as making videos and talking about him and stuff like that. So I think they are ready to now go at Luka, which is right. It's the time. It's time now, like where Luka's going to get the conversation pieces and all that about him if we fail. Like it should be on him, and that puts pressure. That's what puts pressure on Mark Cuban. That puts pressure on Mark Cuban to see if you're going to keep him and all. It's time for all that to happen. But the Mavs media is going to be
in the timeline of a star. That usually is the case before. Yeah. You know, you remember Giannis. You know, people were talking mad-ish about him, saying that I think it was Jefferson saying that he's probably a Pippen before Jordan. And then he won a championship the next. So I mean, I'll welcome the national media criticism of Luka because I mean we're right on track.
It's on Mark Cuban though. Like it's really if they criticize Luka, they're criticizing Mark Cuban.
And it has to be incumbent on on Cuban and Nico and all the front office to make sure they continue to bring the correct pieces. And they need to freaking set kids straight. Like, look, if I get you a fucking piece that can put up 16 points a game on limited time, highly efficient, I don't give a damn if you signed off on it. I don't need you playing shit-ass centers that can't do shit for you. But
you saying you're honest?
Yeah.
This is why I had issues with the whole what you call that, King, when there are a group of people making these decisions, a committee. Mm-hmm. This is why I had an issue with the whole committee thing. This is why I said you need to have a definitive pecking order.
Yeah.
Well, I brought this up to our guests when they came on, right? I was like, yo, wouldn't it be better if you had that way you know who's in charge? So when this article comes out talking about, kid didn't sign off on it, you're the coach.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if I give you the spoons and forks to eat the food, use the spoon and fork.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want that spoon and fork. I want it.
I mean, if I give you a damn fork, you better make it work.
Exactly. Like, if I give you a fork to eat some cereal, but make it work.
Words to the wise. Like, words from the wise, I guess. I learned this from a wise person. If you go somewhere and you're not family and they tell you you're getting a job and it's a family atmosphere, it's a
time.
Don't get the job because it's not a place to go to. And that's what the Mavericks have right now. They have a family relationship.
Don't fall for that family stuff, bro.
If you're not family.
Yep. You're 100% right, bro.
Yeah, but what's y'all's thoughts on this other than what we just said, but the whole Luka stuff that media is kind of turning on him.
This is my thing, Enyi. I kind of touched on this on the last show. I don't know where this came from, right? Where it's like we live in a time now where to boost this guy up, I gotta knock somebody down.
Mm-hmm.
That's how it is, right? And shout out to Damon because he make it seem like Luka never gets criticized or anything like that. And we try to tell him like, bro, this is all the time. Like if you in this space, you see it all the time. When you only in your space, like when you're in Atlanta, all you see is Atlanta. You don't see anything else, right? You think that everybody's praising this guy and calling him God and all this other stuff. We see it all the time. Because me and King defend this guy damn near every show. I literally just had a show, what was last Tuesday or this past Tuesday when I talked about some comments that Stephen A. Smith just made, right? Well, he said he'll take Tatum over Luka, which you know what? That's fine. You're wrong, but that's fine.
You're wrong,
you're wrong. And I had to throw the numbers out there, right? And so, it's the part that gets me. I guess it comes with, like King said, it comes with the territory. We got a guy who's arguably a top 3 player in the league. In my opinion, he is a top 3 player. I've been saying it for the last 2 years. He could be number 1, King. That's fine. Out of him, Giannis, and Jokic, I've been saying it for the last 2 years. Those are 3 best players in the league, hand down. No questions asked, right?
You're splitting hairs.
Yeah, pretty much. And so, I've always said this, man. Like my attitude is this: I got Luka, I don't care.
Mhm.
I don't bring up anybody. I don't care about those other players. I don't want Tatum. I don't want Ja. I don't want Trey. I don't want any of the other guys. I want Luka. I'm good. You know what I'm saying? It's like me sitting there having Jordan and saying, well, dang, you Clyde Drexler or ooh, Dominique Wilkins. No, I'm good. I got Jordan. No. You should want Clyde Drexler. No, I good. I got Jordan. I'm good. I don't need those other guys.
What about Charles
Those guys
Barkley?
are great. Yeah, Charles Barkley, whoever. Those guys are great. That's fine. But I got Michael Jordan, right? And that's kind of how I feel with Luka. Like, that's fine. Y'all can name. Listen, they can throw out any narrative they want. They can throw out any. I don't care what the narrative is. They can say, man, no, Luka just spit on 5 babies and stepped on an old woman's toe. That's why Tatum's better than him. I don't care. I'm still taking Luka, bro. Right? We talked about the fact that people always bring up his him being out of shape and all that, which me and King said. So if he's out of shape, then how's he still dominating these guys?
Yeah.
How's he still better than these guys? I don't understand.
He's dominating the best of the best out of shape.
Exactly. He's out of shape, but yet across the board, he was dominating Jason Tatum, right?
Mhm.
So like you're not making any sense to me right now. You can sit there and talk about his shape all you want or weight or whatever, but the dude's still putting up gaudy numbers though, right? And still playing with this mouse, these sunglasses, this stack of napkins right here, and this trash can juice. This is what he takes to the playoffs every year, right? But like I said, we live at a time now. It's like, well, no. I want my guy to get attention, so let me knock this guy down while my guy gets attention or whatever. Which I never understood why do people do that. Like I said, I told King all the time, like whenever y'all see me go on these rants about these other players and comparing them or whatever, like when I did with Jalen Brunson and Trey or I did with Tatum, I want anybody to get it confused. I don't not like those guys. I like all those guys. You know how y'all know I like Jalen Brunson. Me and King been talking about him for the last 2 years, right?
Mhm.
I like Jalen Brunson. But when you start trying to attack my guy to boost your guy up, that's when we have an issue. It's like, bro, really, come on. It's not even a conversation, bro. Jalen Brunson is nowhere near Luka, bro. Let's stop. Okay, let's stop with that.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Or Trey Young, any of them guys. They're not in Luka's. They're not even in Luka's sphere, man. Let's just calm that down, right? Like I can throw out instances where like I could just knock your guy down easily, and I did that, right? But I don't want to do that because I got Luka. But when those guys start doing that stuff, then it's when us guys like us gotta step in. Like, hold on, man. Now your guy chokes in this moment or whatever, or your guy only averages this, so your guy can't do that. You know what I'm saying? And my guy can do all that stuff or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So
And
that's
even better in the playoffs.
and exactly like every last one of them guys I can name. You can name countless moments where they choked, right, or didn't show up, or whatever the case is. You can't name not one time my guy did that. And like I said, that's why I say that's how I feel about it, man. But go ahead.
Any of these dudes projected to be top 10 of all time with no hardware?
No.
Any? TGK, any like even Joker and Giannis, right? Like Giannis was talked about before possibly being in the top 10. I think that's kind of like fell back. Joker, I don't think he's gotten the conversation of being in like a top 10 yet. His projection still at this point. And he's won 2 MVPs in the championship.
Mhm.
They still talk about Luka Doncic as far as what he looks like. He's going to be a top 10 player of all time. And he has no hardware at all.
He's still ahead of the curve.
Last year, he averaged 32, 8, and 8 on 50% shooting, bro. Like, he was the number one guy, not a chucker. He was the number one guy shooting 50% on a team that they knew was undermanned and got you 50% with 32, 8, and 8. For that to be, like, looked over, to be like, oh, well, it's a bad season, and Luka did this and all, and he was out of shape and all that. That shows you what they expect from this man. That's what I just keep trying to tell folks. Like, bro, 32.
That's fine, King. I just want you to keep that same, not you, but the people. I want them to keep that same energy with everybody.
Oh, they will, bro. It's going to be a time where people hate when they hate even. I hope it's Dallas. I keep telling you. I hope it's Dallas. There's going to be a time where people hate Luka Doncic fans. I'm gonna tell you that they already do, but I mean like a point where it's like, man, he ain't this good and all that stuff, and we going to bask in the glory and be like, that's all they're going to talk about is this man. But I'm just hoping. I keep telling you, I just hope it's for the Dallas Mavericks. That's all I hope. He go to one of the big squads, the crossing the finger. He goes to LA, Boston, something like that. They're going to build a team around him real quick. He's going to win championships real quick. I promise you. Whatever. It's about if the Dallas Mavericks can get it, because that Dirk Nowitzki won championship, getting me here once, and I'm got to fight for it every year this hard. That ain't going to work with Luka, I don't think. Because Luka know he can be bigger than that. That's what I personally.
Like Curry said, he's on the precipice.
Yep, he's on the precipice of understanding that he's that dude.
Speaking of Luka, man, so this came out on Bleacher Report. So this pertains to Luka's leg injury. He says he's not okay. Luka says he will play through pain no matter what. This is what I was afraid of, King. This is what I was talking about.
I'm gonna say, I know you're afraid of it. I'm afraid of it too. I just wanted him to rest, but he gonna always be playing basketball every day.
Yeah, I mean, look, this is something that we don't get as Americans, because we were so good that we take the international game kind of for granted. But for the guys, I mean, Luka's playing for a country with 2 million people. Like the closest that he has with that country, like, we can't just sit here and tell him. And I get it. He has a contract, for $200 million or whatever. I get it, but I'm not going to be the one to tell him that you can't play for the country that you love. You know what I mean?
I understand it. I think we all understand it. It's just that. So say if we were insurance salesmen, right?
Yeah.
Him playing for FIBA, I just said he was projected to be a top 10 guy. Doesn't that projection now go down, you feel like? Don't you feel like that if it was like, for him to be a top 10 guy, it was like 75%? If you hear statements like this and know he's going to always be playing, doesn't it make you feel like, well, that may go down to 65 now?
I think the big issue with him playing over there to me was all right. This is where I feel like I get myself in trouble sometimes, but the Slovenia team is not good, bro. It's not. I'm sorry. They're not good. I don't care what anybody says. So if you're going to bust your ass just to be able to be eliminated before you even, top 8? They were top 8 team.
7.
They beat Italy today, so I guess they're 7th. Cool. I guess, you know what I'm saying? Like, I thought we were in it to get championships, just like you're in it for the Mavericks to get championships, and the Mavs are improving their team. I get it. Slovenia only has 2 million people. I totally understand that. But you have to kind of pick and choose when and where to play, and I believe he could play for Serbia. You could go win championships right now for Serbia because they have a good team. I saw this one guy that was telling me, ain't you Mexican? Like, what? Why don't you root for Mexico? Because my country, my homeland sucks. They're not good at basketball. That's not their sport. Like, we play soccer, bro. We're good at soccer. We're good at selling drugs and stuff like that. We're not good at basketball.
I cheer for Nigeria when we talk about Olympics and stuff like that.
Man.
Yeah, but like
the United States,
Mexico went 0-3 in FIBA.
Is it bad for us to? Is it bad for us to cheer for Slovenia?
Yeah, supposedly it's not patriotic. I don't.
I guess I was rooting for it. I put USA to the side. I
have an underdog complex. I always tend to.
I do as well, but you know why, Enyi? It's kind of like I'm fetishizing stuff because I feel like I have a complex for the underdog because I go through situations in life just as a black man. Like, I'm gonna just keep it real. So I don't look at it as like standing up and patriotic. I look at it as just a sport. Like, that's how I feel, because I'm not gonna down someone. Like, it'd be folks that be going at folks like, man, F you and F Slovenia and F all this stuff. And I'm like, bro, but we all people. I thought that's the whole. You feel me? Like, why are we separating ourselves even more on stupid-ish? Like, it's a sport, bro. Like, that's how I feel. Like, if the United States don't take it serious, okay, they don't take it serious. If you guys want to go win it and all that. That's awesome and all that. Like, I can call a spade and not have a problem with people, and that's how I feel. So I love it. I wanted Slovenia to get a W. They really wanted it. I didn't care about it.
So you're saying it's not? So it's not bad that I got a Slovenia jersey but not a USA jersey?
Nah,
I have an old USA soccer jersey, but
I think it's playing.
I remember USA in FIFA.
Yeah, I don't really.
Luka is playing with an injury since March. Like, that's my issue. Like, you got hurt in March. You missed 5 games for us, and then we brought you back in, and you weren't the same. Now you've taken an off season. You've rebuilt your body. You look more, how would I say, in shape physically. But then you've been having these on and off injuries against Germany, or even in the little exhibition games. I am concerned about that. I don't want Luka coming into the season at 60, 70%. And then there's going to be people telling you, well, there's going to be another team that's willing to take him at 60, 70%. Is that cool? Like, I don't get it. Cool. Like I want Luka to be 100% the best Luka he could be, so he can succeed, man, and win. I don't want to hobble Luka because he wants to play nonstop and play through injuries. That's just not smart for the long game. For the short game, I get.
I can see
not
both
the long
sides. I can definitely see it both sides, dude. If I was as good as Luka is, and I'm playing for Nigeria, which that's the country my parents are from, I'm the type of dude that I'm gonna give it my all. But I'm saying it now as a 33, 5'10", over the hill dude instead of if I was paid $200 million by one entity, and I don't know if Slovenia is paying him or whatever, maybe I'd be more business minded or stuff like that. But
right,
I can definitely see it. I can definitely see it both ways. I do appreciate that he loves his country to the extent that he's willing to play through that pain. But I also do love the Mavs. I've been loving them for a long time, so it does suck that your best player, is heading into the season. I hope he can just
nobody wants to get injured.
Get off your feet for the next month. Do whatever you can.
Luka gets hurt.
Yeah, because we trying to win too. We trying to win here.
Luka gets hurt so much, Enyi. I just don't want him to get injured.
Yeah.
I'm scared. I'm knock on wood for that. I don't want him to get injured, man. Injuries change.
Let Kai cook.
But Kai 33 and all that or whatever. Like I don't want Kai to. If Kai's our number one, I don't think we win in the championship.
No, I'm not saying number one, but
I just don't want an injury. What I'm saying is even Luka twisting his ankle and stuff like that, when that stuff happens, that's still getting hurt to me. Like I feel like in the old day and age, he wouldn't have missed as much time as they do now because of how they hold players out. He hasn't been injured yet. You feel what I'm saying?
We talked about it yesterday. Jordan.
Yeah, like
82 out of 82.
Yeah.
His last year in the Wizards, he played 82. His last year, I think, with the Wizards, he played all 82. The year before,
that's
39th year, he played all 82. Like it is what it is. So, like, I just don't want Luka to have to touch the knife. How about that one? That's what I get scared of. Stuff like that to have to happen, and it's like him playing that extra ball. Just he doesn't get a time. He doesn't get a break. Like it is. It just is what it is. It's just always moving. That engine, even though. It's like they say, what is it? Zion is like a Ferrari and a tank or whatever engine. Like no matter what, Luka has a bunch of miles on his engine already. You feel me? Like from back when he was 14, he has miles on his engine.
That's why I said, man, when we tanked this year and we didn't make the playoffs, I was not mad. I mean, I knew people were gonna come at us, but whatever. I wasn't. I wasn't mad because. That would have been Luka's first year of having somewhat of a offseason. You know what I'm saying?
Hell no, dude. I'm gonna overrule that one. Give me my gavel. I'm overruling that one.
Oh man.
But yeah, hey, y'all want to get to the questions and comments, man?
Yeah, we can get
there.
He said, I'm putting my gavel down. I gotta take over that one. I had to pause that one, man. He did. That was a major pause. It was a hard pause. I'm sorry. We should have stopped for a second.
King, man, he needs to pause.
Yeah, you need a pause button, man. That's what I need. Like you got your shots, pause.
Yeah, exactly. Questions and comments, ladies and gentlemen. Listen, guys, if you guys have any questions or comments addressing us and Enyi and TGK, guys, hit us with the WTM in front of your question or your comment, guys. The way we know you're addressing us and not one of your fellow Glow Yard members. Please keep it respectful. We normally take the super chats first, and then we take the regular chat. So whenever a super chat comes in, we address that first.
You're not gonna like this one.
Let's see. Oh, here we go. MVP. Coy with the $4.99 though. No, the MVP of the channel. He said, "Much love, guys. Real, the Rangers gonna make the playoffs." No, they're not. Coy, no, they're not.
Damn,
that's wow. You really think it's done?
I don't even watch. I don't.
That's what I was trying to tell you yesterday. You were trying to give me hope and everything. I'm like, bro, nah, it's over, bro.
Nah,
Hold on, King. We just lost to the Rotas. Bro, not none of that. We just lost to the Athletics, bro.
The Athletics, I know, bro. Like, but what? Like,
you know what the Athletics record is,
bro? The Athletics are the second worst team in the MLB, I think, in front of the Kansas City Royals. But bro, they trash. Like, I know that.
Are they
you see where I'm going with this?
How though? Like,
Scherzer got rocked on his last few starts, bro.
I told you, Scherzer not that good. Go ahead, hold on, Enyi. What are you saying? I can hear you.
Are they officially out?
No, they're not. They're still there. That's why I'm like they wild card and all. They were leading the division for most of the year. You said they're gonna fall all the way out?
Hold on. But the way they're playing, do you really want to take that chance of getting in there?
But y'all not though. You're not gonna make it because Toronto y'all gotta mess with Toronto. Seattle now is ahead of y'all. So Astros,
Seattle. Astros, we got leapfrogs in our own division twice by Mariners.
The Astros are going to take the division probably. Then Seattle gonna be behind them. So y'all would have to fight for.
I hope Seattle get it because I don't want the Astros to get it.
Toronto is in the wild card, and I think the Tampa Bay Rays. So y'all not gonna make it.
So you know what the Rangers are doing?
As we go into We Talk Rangers for like 3 minutes. Explain to me for someone who doesn't. I followed the Rangers, but not like to a certain extent. Like what precipitated the downfall? Like what happened? Did we just turn off the juice, or was it just like something?
I'm trying to figure it out. They was going through injuries all year.
We had injuries. We were still winning with the injuries though, right? We tried to boost our bullpen. Scherzer was supposed to be our guy, our number one guy, kind of slide everybody down their national pecking order when it comes to, because we lost the Grom for the season, right?
Yeah.
So we went and got Scherzer. We filled our bullpen with a couple of solid pitching, and that's really what we've been getting rocked on, bro. We got killed by the Astros like 14-1, 12-3. Damn. It's like all of a sudden our pitching is not getting support from the bats anymore.
Y'all closer can't close games.
Our closers getting rocked.
Their closer had I think blown damn near 14 saves in a row or something like that. It was something.
It was something like that. Yeah, it was something like that.
Go ahead, TGK. I knew you were talking to. I'm sorry.
Oh no. I was just saying that the Rangers are pulling the Dallas Mavericks from last year.
Yeah, like out of nowhere. But no, it ain't even Dallas Mavericks because Dallas was still.
Yeah, we're doing it all throughout the season.
Dallas was like on the fourth seed, but the fourth seed wasn't that far away from the eighth seed. Texas was stupid. Yeah,
we were flirting with the number one seed in the whole entire league.
Y'all was with us. It was me. It was us. And
we kept going back and forth with y'all. Yeah,
and all that stuff.
And I was cool with number two. I was cool with number two because the way things was gonna line up in the playoff brackets. I was cool with number two. But then, like I said, after we went on that 10-game win streak, we had lost that one. No, we won like 11. We won 10 out of 11 because we went like 10-1 after the trade deadline. And I was about to go into the group and say, yeah, man, they called us the one loss boys out here. And as soon as I was about to send that, we went on that losing streak, bro. I think we had lost like 8 out of 9.
Why did y'all pick?
And we lost like 7, and bro, I'm just like
Verlander. Y'all picked Scherzer over Verlander. I don't
want to talk about that. I told you this is what I thought. Okay,
you thought we was getting.
I kept hearing we was gonna get Verlander. I kept hearing that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then all of a sudden I didn't hear anything else, and all of a sudden Scherzer came out of nowhere.
You thought Verlander?
And I started hearing y'all attached to Verlander, right? And then all of a sudden we hear Houston attached to Verlander again, and Houston ended up getting him. And that's when I was like, I thought y'all were gonna get Verlander. You was like, I thought y'all were gonna get him. I thought we were gonna get him too.
But even if
I didn't hear it anymore after that though.
Even if Houston didn't get him, I'd have still been mad that y'all didn't get him. You feel what I'm saying? Like y'all had first dibs at their pitching.
You mad? I'm mad. I would have listened. I was cool with Scherzer. I thought like maybe it's one of those. Hey, let's get him a new, surroundings and you know what I'm saying. All that. I thought like I didn't think he's better than. I still would have took if he gave me a choice. I still would have took Verlander, but I wasn't mad at Scherzer. Right? It's kind of like the Aiden Mal Turner thing. Like I want Aiden, but if he gave me Mal Turner, I'm not tripping.
Scherzer's still technically one of the greatest pitchers of all time. You feel me? Like that's not a.
But what you're showing me right now is what I'm scared of you going into the playoffs, though. Because Scherzer also has a reputation of not showing up in the playoffs. Yeah. That's what I'm scared of, right? Mm-hmm. And I thought Scherzer could be that David Lee, but David Lee didn't have his issue when he played in the playoffs before he came to Texas. So that's why I was saying, like, I thought he's going to be David Lee until Jaden told me to pump the brakes. So
we got like a 10-game lead on y'all now.
Yeah. We were literally going neck and neck with y'all during damn near all season, bro. And all of a sudden, like, you know what? I had to play. Pitching is getting rocked every day. It's crazy, bro. But
y'all gotta make the playoffs, and y'all can't beat the Astros. I've never seen nothing like that before. Like,
hey, I told you, I got a selfish reason why I didn't want us to make it.
Yo, they be stomping y'all. I'm like, this is crazy,
chill, bro.
They do though, bro. They be stomping y'all. Like y'all got I don't want to say a legit team. Y'all got a winning record and all that. Like y'all should.
We got a winning record.
You feel me? But it's like the Astros treat y'all like y'all the A's when they play y'all.
We're the little bros, man.
Y'all got the broadcasters. Like even the San Antonio Spurs didn't embarrass the Mavs like that. Y'all got the broadcasters when what's his name hitting 5 home runs in the series talking about you didn't really do anything. You should have hit singles or something so people had a chance to put you out. Like what?
Yeah, when he said that, bro.
Who would choose a single over a home run to try to get put out on bases? What? Y'all wilding. Yeah, y'all going through some, and y'all spent so much money now, didn't y'all? Oh,
yes, sir.
Man.
Remember, we still got the Grom, so he ain't played. So.
Man,
Is he out for next year too? I heard that.
That I don't know, but
did he get Tommy John?
That's what I'm trying to think right now. If he got Tommy John, he got Tommy John. He might be out. He might be out
next year.
at least half.
Yeah, he out for. He gonna be out. You shouldn't rely on him next year. Like next year, you should be like, all right, we might get some pitches from him and all, but if he getting Tommy John, our closer might be getting Tommy John. We trying to figure it out. So that's no joke, man. I hate that. That's the worst injury in baseball, man.
But supposedly it makes them come back strong, right?
Man, no, they come back and play. So players now come back more and still have a career, but you still don't want to get the velocity and stuff like that. It's usually not the same. It's like, so you gotta be perfect command then and all that, because it's weaker now. It is what it is. It sucks.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Okay.
Big J's a Glow Yard Gang member. He says, "What up, fam?
What up, Big J?
What up?
All right, back to we talk Mavs.
Yeah, my bad.
Nancy says, "Hey guys, how y'all doing today? Can't complain, Nancy. She says, can't wait for the season to get started and to see what we got and how JK is going to handle things with all these new pieces. We'll see what after that.
He's the one part of this offseason that scares me.
The X factor.
I love the moves we made.
Yeah, he really
JK knows what the hell he's doing.
Ramble says, fire Jason Kidd, fire Nico, buy out Cuban.
If we can get like a Dallas investment group going, just like,
hey, only way you're gonna get rid of Cuban, get another scandal going.
That's how you get rid of guys now. It sucks, but you got guys that love their team and stuff. You got to have scandals enough where they can get told to leave the nice way. We got
go ahead.
Hold on, Johnny B, Glow Yard Gang member. He says, "What up, fellas? What up, Johnny B?
Johnny B."
All right, man. We got Coy with the $4.99 Dono Glow Yard member, of course. He said the thing with the Grom is this is second. Oh man, I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, that's I'm sorry, y'all. Y'all gave me. I'm sorry. That sucks, y'all. That just made me feel really bad.
How long was the contract?
5 years.
Y'all get that man a bunch of money. I'm sorry, y'all. That's horrible. That's horrible, man. That's horrible.
Back to retouch.
That's horrible. Chico.
I didn't know that. I feel like he told us that before, man. Jesus Christ, boy.
That's horrible, man. Thank you.
We're not getting. Don't look at Yotani. We definitely get him.
Chico says, "What's good, fellas?" Oh, but he might have to get Tommy John.
Oh yeah, that's right.
He might only be a DH from now on, which would make his contract not as it's a bad season, man. This is horrible. Chico said,
"Oh, Tony might have to get Tommy John too."
Yeah, he's no longer pitching. He's his UCL was messed up. He's only hitting right now, and I think he hurt his oblique or something the other day at batting practice. Like he's injury prone. That's why I was scared to get him as far as giving him a contract.
When you carrying, bro, that's what happens.
Yeah, I mean, shout out to Mike Trout too, getting injured. Chico said, "What's good, fellas? Don't take this wrong, but I hope Kai can mentor / help Luka with his on-court emotions, even just listening to his body." I agree with that.
Ain't nobody taking that wrong. You definitely
no
want to do
offense
something.
taken.
Ain't no offense taken at all.
Melissa. To the point, shout out Melissa, but to Odu's point, I really want to know. I used to have. Now I'm not saying I'm an NBA player, especially in the caliber of Luka Doncic. I'm not saying that.
Well, at least in the caliber of Powell. But go ahead.
I might be a tier above Powell. I used to have a lot of anger issues playing basketball and reacting to the refs and stuff like that. But I remember I made just a conscious decision to be like, you know what? I'm just gonna fucking play the game that I love. I'm just gonna play it, and calls be damned. So I don't know how I did it. I don't know how Luka's gonna do it. If Kai can mentor him, if there's a way to get him, maybe a logical way, like, hey, dude, like if you keep going at refs, they're literally you're gonna have a reputation, and they're not gonna listen to you or something. Yeah, like I don't know. He says it every season that he's going, take his emotions. He's just a very passionate guy, and passion is a hard thing to, bottle up. So
stop playing for fouls.
Maybe that's just gonna be his thing. I mean,
stop playing for fouls.
LeBron.
You're right, but LeBron doesn't do it in the same demeanor Luka does. Like LeBron could be a crybaby, we know, but LeBron isn't like over there calling refs out their names and all that stuff and putting up the money sign and all that. Like Luka goes to a little bit of an extreme right now, and he needs to just stop. Just stop playing for fouls altogether. If he got 0 fouls in like foul calls or free throws in a game, he should be okay with that. He should go with the mindset, I'm just going to go cook these guys. And if he does that, the free throws will come. Like, that's how I feel. I would just want him to stop. Something has to get in his head to say, don't even worry about free throws. You're good enough. You're going to get them. Just if you don't have a set amount of number, I hope he doesn't have that, like a certain amount of number of free throws he goes for and says, I want to have this a game. Just play, man. You'll be okay. So that's what I hope.
My bad, Melissa.
No, you good. Melissa with the $20 dono. She's a Glow Yard member as well. She said, I hope I have a We Talk Mavs jersey by the time the Mavs come to the MSG to play the Knicks. Oh, she's gonna have a We Talk Mavs jersey on.
You want to set that up for the talk to him on Friday, bro?
Yeah, you know what? I don't think we're going nowhere. My sister just texted me too. She wanted to talk to me about stuff. But anyway, I'll probably get something set up, man.
Because I can
going to New York or what?
I'm give to you.
Actually, you know what? You don't have to. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take it off the site without the numbers, all that. So yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, I'll get something set up here, man. I'll get something set up.
Look out for Friday, Melissa.
For the Mavs versus Knicks game or what?
I mean, I'm down. Let me know what it is.
Bet.
I'm done.
I've done it before and we lost, so it wasn't the greatest.
I was in Madison. I told you I was at Madison Square for KP's return game.
No, TGK. Don't hype King up. King not going to no more games, man. Every time he go to a game,
every time I go to a game, my team loses, man. I ain't gonna front to you. I gotta reverse the curse. I'm afraid to go back to the Orioles right now. They winning, and I'm like, if I go there,
that's right.
I went to the game. We had beat y'all. We had beat the Rangers every game, like in the season.
Oh yeah,
and Friday, y'all beat the hell out of us, like 13-1 or something. I'm like, man, I'm done.
and then you went back again that next day, I think.
Y'all still beat us the second day.
I thought you went back again that next day.
I ain't go back. No, y'all beat us again 2 times. We got the third game though. Rob was like, I want to sweep. Like,
I want to sweep. That's around the time we were battling for that 1 and 2. That's just going for that 1 and 2 spot from the Rays.
I'm the same way when it comes to like watching Mavericks games. Like if they're doing good while I'm not watching, like I will literally not turn on the game. I'll just follow it on my phone, just like the scores updating. But if they're bad, if they're doing bad, I'm like, I gotta change up the mojo, do something.
Superstitious, man. Superstitious run. I'm like, oh, I did this. Oh, let me do that one more time. Be with it. Like, hey, something. Put good juju in the air. I believe in juju, man. I think karma, juju, all that stuff real. Trust me. Potato says, just wrong timing for Seawood to be a Maverick. Hope he balls out. Pause. And dunk on Powell's. You know what? Yes.
Yep.
How wow.
We need that too. There gotta be another one on there. Pow wow.
Yeah.
Pow wow. Or something like that. You feel me? Johnny B says, me knowing LeBron and the Lakers level of pettiness, when Seawood comes back to Dallas, they're gonna feed him and make sure he gets 30 to 40 points and completely destroys Powell, whoever's playing. Hopefully it's lively about it. And I said the same thing, Johnny B. I agree with you. I agree.
I think a lot of people.
Lively will lock them up.
I know the Glow Yard want to see Christian Wood kill Dwight Powell, bro.
If Dwight Powell is playing, I'm fine with Christian Wood getting 40. I'll take that one. I'm fine.
Yeah.
If Lively's playing, though, I'd love to see Lively try to DM up.
He'll lock him up.
I don't think he'll lock him up, but I think he'll have good times on him as far as
he'll have better times than Dwight Powell. I'm guaranteeing that.
Yes, by far. That's what I'm trying to say. But it'll be more difficult for Seawood to score. Harold says, what needs to happen to Jason Kidd to get fired mid-season? Allegedly nothing.
It'll be
allegedly nothing. It the way the Mad Media stay talking as if he's gonna play out the whole entire season. So
yeah, touchable.
It's crazy because the Mavs stay
go 182
when we signed Jason Kidd. So
that's what King was saying.
That's what I'm saying. Stuff switched up. It's like I told you, they're a product of Mark
Cuban.
Whatever Mark Cuban wants to happen, he puts it out in broadcasts, and it's like propaganda.
Payola.
It's like Thundercats.
Exactly.
Div says, Canada game, you got SGA being treated like Trae Young with all the calls and the exact same play, if not worse, what happened to Luka and no calls. And people wonder why Luka is getting upset with the refs. Luka isn't helping himself, but he has to realize people are hoping for his failure. He isn't liked. The only thing they complain about is the refs complaining. That is all they have on him. And how annoying people say Luka doesn't want Kyrie. Kyrie won't work out when Luka is the one who actually said to make the deal and wanted Kyrie, even at the expense of his buddy Finney Smith. And what about Team USA losing? Imagine Luka had that roster. Would it be treated like it on ESPN?
Bro, imagine if Luka had not even Team USA. If he had
Serbia.
Yeah. F it. If you gave Luka, here's your talent pool. Houston, he's winning silver. Just Houston.
Bro, Luka wins the gold medal with the Dallas Mavericks. Hold on, do you disagree?
Well, I say that because Dallas Mavericks is comprised of people from all over the world.
Yeah, I got you. But I'm just saying, if they had to play as the Dallas Mavericks,
let's give them the Hoopers from Houston, Texas.
Oh, yes, you're right about that. But
the Hoopers from Houston, Texas, and he will win a silver.
Nah, I ain't gonna disrespect Slovenia like that, man. My man Petrovic.
They got some ballers.
That is, he a beast.
He can shoot.
He a dog, man. But hold on, ESPN, no big deal yet. Why wasn't Anthony Edwards criticized? So obvious that Luka and Kai by the media. So a couple things, Div. I don't think the media. I think they'll criticize them more. What is it this coming week? Like I think they're gonna after they get their medal or whatever, because either they're gonna get the bronze medal or no medal at all, right? Yeah. So depending on how far they fall is how they're gonna crucify them. They get no medal at all. It's gonna be embarrassing. Like
damn near the redeem team coming.
Yeah, like it's LeBron's about to play at 40. You feel me? Like if that happens. And another thing, I think TGK back when you said something about Luka not playing, why they playing with the team. I think they still got to qualify for the Olympics though. Like that's why he has to.
Yeah, they still had to qualify. That's why he had to play it out. Yeah.
So he didn't want to.
I think they made it though.
Yeah, they did. That's what I'm saying. He didn't want to not make the Olympics. Like then he had no chance of winning at all.
No comment.
I feel you, TGK. I'm just saying, like that's you want to play in the Olympics, man.
I mean, that's
I understand him playing in the Olympics. I'm not mad at that. Like I'm like, bro.
Remember when Germany made it to the Olympics?
Yeah, like the Olympics is the Olympics. I'm like, I understand the Olympics. Like, bro, you want to play, you want to get your country. Slovenia had never been before, right? As far as basketball, like you want to get your country to the Olympics, and he almost got a bronze medal.
Based on some of this commentary, they want Luka to break his leg playing for his country, which is great.
They do,
but. I'm a little biased to my Mavs team, so like if you ain't in the Olympics, I'm still gonna sleep all right. So I'm just saying.
Two things can be true at one time, TGK. Like they want him to break his legs. They want him to break his leg for the Slovenian team, but you want him to honor his $40 million contract as well. Like it is what it is. Like I don't understand how people don't understand that. It's okay to have two things right at the same time. Like the Mavericks are paying him $40 million a year. Like, and you want to get your $40 million worth. You don't want to have to go to games where Luka's out the whole year and still getting paid $40 million for the Dallas Mavericks.
Yeah, that's my only concern. All right, no beef with Slovenia. I just don't want my guy already hobbled, injured, playing for a team that has no chance to even make a bronze without Luka. So if you can't get a bronze without Luka, I don't want you playing.
You think the Mavericks are closer? The Mavericks are closer to their destination than Slovenia is right now.
Yes. No, that's all.
I see what you're saying.
I mean, there's nothing Slovenia can do about it. It's not like they can go and trade for it.
No.
Go play for Serbia, Luka. You can win there.
Don't say that. Come on, y'all better stop saying that. People going to hate y'all for saying that, man. I'm telling man, go play for a different nation and all that. Johnny B says, if I'm Wood and I know how talented I am, and I go to a team where I know I'm the clear second best, and you talking about Deer, I got you. And I got to play behind the worst player on the team. I feel like I got picked after the. Man.
Johnny B. L's, dog.
Wow, man.
It all starts from the top. Cuban is the culture setter. And when you have a guy going around podcast saying it is Luka's team, like who doesn't know this? You don't need to say it. Yeah, research team camaraderie. What are you doing?
Yeah,
just sitting there talking about roles in the same podcast where you saying it's all Luka. Yeah, it's like,
that's weird. Let me go on a small tangent. I always hate it, and that same podcast that I mentioned before, they do this all the time. They ask players. They ask other players on the team questions about Luka, and I'm just like, get off this man's nuts. That's weird. Why am I asking questions about another man's favorite food? Like come on now.
Hey, what does Luka watch when he goes to bed every night?
Yeah, like
where are they getting it from, guys? Come on, where are they getting it from? I told you, representation of your owner.
Enyi, it's not even questions about Luka. We got these 10 questions. We're gonna ask everyone the same 10 questions and
oh my god,
and not curate them to the actual person. We're just gonna ask the same ones, even though this person has never played one game with Luka. Oh, can you draw Luka's sign?
Yeah, did they make him do that last year or something like that?
I never seen.
Yeah,
how would I know? I never played with him.
Hold on. Here's my question.
Let me stop. 1,
do they get Kyrie this year?
Ooh.
2, because they never got Porzingis.
I sure hope.
2, if they get Kyrie, will he answer those dumb questions?
Ooh,
that's a great question, bro.
Now I want Kyrie.
And I was about to say what Enyi said. I was about to say, why get those credentials just to ask dumb questions like that?
That's what I'm saying.
You question that the Glow Yard asks us every day. Wouldn't it be nice if we had those credentials? We can ask them ourselves.
So, yep.
Just curate the questions to the player. Don't ask the same ones.
Don't ask these dumb. I want to watch it for 2 hours asking these stupid questions, bro. Just ask the question that we all want to know. That's what I want.
Why make a show?
Start right now and start making questions that for each player.
Right.
Why on your podcast are you critiquing a player, but when you see him in his face, you don't ask him about the issues that you have with him, like the stuff as far as the why don't you shoot threes? What are you doing? You can ask. You don't have to be rude or like inconsiderate when asking. Just like ask him a simple question. What are you working on in your game? You feel like this year that you should let the fans know. You feel me? Like you can make questions. You don't have to be rude. Like just ask questions that are serious questions that people want to know the answer to instead of can you draw Luka Doncic's symbol? Who cares?
And I just want to clear
it. Can you draw Luka?
We're saying this from a good place because we want better coverage for the team. So I see JD Mav said we're full auto shots at a particular place. We're not. We just want better coverage, man. That's all it is. Like if we were in that position,
better questions, man.
I would ask Josh Green, hey, Josh Green, what is one
the crazy part about it? TGK, you know what we're talking about.
Here's a lineup of 5 junks. Which ones is Luka's? Get the fuck out of here.
Man, yeah, like something I would expect that. Come on, man.
We all know media days at the end of September. Start making questions
now. Exactly.
Get ready for that. Get ready for that closet. Harold says Luka goes to Lakers, he be treated like the greatest talent ever, and Dallas media doesn't care about the Mavs. Oh, he goes to Lakers, then they're gonna have Magic Johnson and all saying he better than him and all that. It's gonna be amazing.
Yeah, I'll stop watching NBA.
Harold said audio messed up.
It was
earlier.
It was good now.
Okay.
Yeah, it said that stuff.
They were going through a tunnel.
Okay.
That might have been on. That might have been on StreamYard. It's not us.
Coy says, I agree with Rel. People be taking analytics and don't trust their eyes. I had the same conversation on Twitter about Seager not being the best hitter in baseball, which he isn't. Then Bro Diggs, Jesus.
Whoa.
Boy, Seager, man.
Hold on. You gonna say you my proud? They ain't gonna take shots at my team. All right, I see it.
Boy, be going in on you on them Rangers.
So Seager ain't the MVP.
We the punching bag right now. That's all good.
Man, he got the he a Brave fan, man. Like the Braves.
Hey, and I told you why. I'm not mad, King. I told you why. I'm about to go clean up like me and TGK did at the American Airlines
Center. All the Rangers stuff when it's on sale.
Yeah.
He said, I'm
coming for that. I'm coming for that powder blue jersey, bro.
Yeah, for that. We talk Rangers next year, baby. We getting ready for it.
Yeah. We're gonna try to do.
I gotta get that Garcia jersey in that blue.
Oh,
man, okay.
Coy said when they don't agree, it's wild. Yeah. Div says Seawood stuff shows the rest of the team it isn't about performance, it's about favoritism. That is set up. Players need to know it is performance based. That is what pushes people to perform. Hey,
that is 100% true.
Div, that might be the comment of the day so far.
So Div, you got here trying to preach today, huh? I see. You told violence this morning. I like that, man. I'm not gonna
that was
write that in your notebook, bro. 140.
That's a comment of the show potential right there. Like that.
That might be the comment.
Right now, you up there, Div. Right now.
That was beautiful.
Harold says the white power is sleeping.
That might be comment of the show.
I knew somebody gonna say that. I knew somebody was gonna say that.
That was up there too.
I would post this on your social media. Comment of the day: Dwight Powell sleeping with Cuban.
That'll get them both out of here.
Man, you said Cuban getting a DP.
Whoa, hey yo.
That's what y'all saying. What are y'all talking about here, man?
I ain't touching nothing, sir.
Sri Sharon says
Human getting a powwow. That's for sure.
a powwow. Sri Sharon says no one cares about advanced statistics. If the last possession is there for the ops team to win, I don't want Powell as my rim protector. I don't want Powell on the team at all.
What?
Sri, but good
Listen,
point.
the event analyst tells me that Dwight Powell is the greatest center to ever step foot on the court. What are y'all talking about?
And yeah, Shri, he's at the right place at the right,
right time, always, and gets hit in the face. Harold
So,
says,
he Jesus now?
"Hey
Okay.
man,
Maybe that's my.
he turned water to wine, man." Harold says Luka is their scapegoat in the national media's eyes. Cuban doesn't care at all. I hope you're wrong, Harold, but you're usually right.
Bro, getting the powwow is crazy, bro.
Div gave us some statistics right here, baby. He says Seawood numbers: game played 67 points, 16.6 rebounds, 7.3 assists, 1.8 field goal percentage, 51.5 3-point percentage, 37.6 price, 2.5 on a 2-year contract each year.
I see where you're going with this. Go ahead.
Dwight can't say the rest. Numbers: games played 76 points, 6.7 rebounds, 4.1 assists, 0.9 3-point percentage. Here you go. Right, that's your favorite one. 0%.
No. You gotta change that number. It's different. He's different.
Price equals $4 million, 3 years. Get out of here, bro. I'm done.
Makes absolutely no sense.
That's the leak. Mark Cuban.
Somebody got to help me make sense of that.
Div says when Canada was down in the fourth quarter last game, how many times did you see Powell on the court in the fourth quarter? Laughing my butt off. F Powell. Why is it even a conversation? Dude sucks and never improves. Yeesh.
He's actually gotten worse.
Yeah.
Yeah. You want to be real? Yes.
Yeah, that's what the peak of his career was like Luka's first year. And then it was like the Achilles happened.
I remember when he used to shoot threes, but that was when we were thinking. But,
Div says he laughing his butt off at King, raising his hand like, "What up? I'm working." Ha ha ha! You should have told him to come to you and ask him about Steve.
You talking about your son came with the rule?
Yeah. I know what he's talking about. Like, man, I didn't know what he was doing. Like, hold on, I'm trying to listen to you at the same time. Like, you all right? And I'm like, hold up, are you okay? Are you all right?
All it needed was a woman to come in there, like panic to like drag him out. That the pandemic. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Oh, we talking about that. Was it senator?
Walked in and dudes talking about important shit.
My bad.
The kids like, she's like, banging him out.
Div said, I watched Canada game. Dude was shook so bad. They did the old head fake and got crossed up, and dude had easy layup. That is being in the right position. How stupid is this?
He was there.
He was there, Div. He was there.
Says they must be saying
do anything once he got there, but he was there.
That's not important. And he was there. Okay, he was there.
They must be saying that he can read Luka better for setting screens. But F me. How many years? Pause. How many years has he been playing with Luka for? And you expect others to have that chemistry right away? I mean, man, it's no way you couldn't have. How could Seawood have the chemistry with Luka if he's not able to play with him?
He was.
But Seawood had it in the second game. The second game of the season. Man, my memory's pretty good right now. Second game of the season against the Memphis Grizzlies.
Yep.
Luka had that dope alley-oop to Seawood, and they were both, shotting in the air. They blew out the Grizzlies by like 40.
Like 40. I'm just talking about as far as like setting screens in the right places and all. Like you learn that from playing with somebody on the court of being like, I know where you like to go. Okay, I know what I got to do and all. Like if he's never able to play,
like the pick and roll numbers. I think Dwight Powell was like 0.3 better than.
Bro. Dwight
That's a lot.
5 years, 0.03, something like that. But that was like 5 years of playing with Luka versus 1 year.
I just met you 2 seconds ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. What up, Vaughn? He said there was a stretch last season where Luka and Wood look good playing together. I don't know why kids sit Wood every time Wood is getting hot. Man, it was every time I feel like they play together, they look good.
That was so freaking frustrating.
You said game 1 of the season?
Every time they play together, they look good. Every time Luka was on the court, we'll see Wood.
I think there was like a game against Brooklyn or something like that. I want to say Brooklyn. I think it was like a black and white team, so probably Brooklyn. Where the Mavericks ended up winning, but like I was so hot after the win, like I was pissed that I remember going on y'all's show and I was like venting. Like, what the fuck are we doing?
Oh yeah.
You make it more difficult. They were making games more difficult. Shout out to the Oklahoma City Thunder that beat us 4 times because we just wanted to sit Luka out. But damn, we ended up being a team that didn't make the playoffs last year.
Yeah.
Wow. So why are we deciding to sit Luka out in games and all?
You know, I had made a video last year and I titled it "The Mavs Need to Stop Kidding Around."
I remember that.
Jason Kidd, and one hand he had Christian Wood, another hand he had
I remember that.
Bullock and all these other players that weren't doing anything for you. He just kept kidding around the whole season. I'm like,
you talking about when he used the thought of you got to play defense or do this for Christian Wood, but then we saw Tim Hardaway out there chunking up shots, going like 2 for 15. Keep shooting. Yeah, tell him to keep shooting shots, and he don't play no defense. Keep him out there, keep shooting, but you take the guy who got hot and can get you 16 points in a blink of an eye. Take him out the game.
I told you some media people started saying like Tim Hardaway Jr. Even Richard said yesterday they're starting to say Tim Hardaway Jr. You lose him defense. Why does anyone think Tim Hardaway Jr. is a good defender, bro?
No, they said Tim Hardaway Senior, King, is what they said.
Oh, okay. They going back in time.
Yeah, they're going back in time. We're talking about that.
All right, I'm up, man.
When we got Danny Manning and all, that's what you're talking about.
Okay.
I guess offense is defense, right?
But his offense was off at that point. Like when Tim Hardaway Jr.'s offense is off, he has nothing at all. Like, why do we choose guys that do nothing?
He's locked down. What are you talking?
Oh, sorry,
bro.
Dave says, what makes a great coach? They are able to get the best out of all the players, and each individual is different. A great coach recognizes this and treats each accordingly to get the best out of them. They have a point.
Hold on. Dave, you said, go back to that one again. You said great coach, Dave. You said great coach. Go ahead. I'm sorry. You saying, King? Go ahead.
Accountability. Shree says, if Luka leaves Mavs, we can go back to 2022 offseason as we start of the destruction, man. I dread what the Mavericks gonna look like.
Destruction. Hey.
We'll at least get a king's ransom if you ask for a trade.
I don't think we're ever gonna trade him. Well, we have to trade him because I think he's gonna take the contract. I don't think he's going to.
If he requests a trade, you're going to try to work him. But if it gets to a point, well, then
we're gonna
get the best offer.
Use that back. We
4, 5, 6, 7. First,
it depends on picks. It's going to depend on where you want to go. But Div says what King just read. Wow. So we had Kid push to get McGee and push against Wood. Doesn't get his way. Wonder why. Oh, that is right. Kid was hired by Cuban, and now it all makes sense. Yep.
That's true.
Div, what's going on today, man?
Div is on, man. I told you.
Div out here spitting, man.
He took my spot today. What's going on?
I don't know. He's out here spitting today, man. Div need to take over the show. He gotta say nothing else.
We talk Div.
Yep.
Talk Div, man.
He also says this makes it look like Nico is not in control. And Cuban Kid that sucks. Not good at all, Luka. Time to be on Nico's side and tell Cuban, shut the F up, sit down while I'm gone. Eesh. I feel you.
Somebody, man, this man is preaching today, man.
Yep.
Made the church say amen, boy.
Amen. Vaughn says, watch Kid in the post-game interviews last season. Every time Powell did slightly well in the game, he makes sure everyone knows. Yep. But when Wood dropped 30 points, he doesn't even talk about it unless asked. You are 100% about that, Vaughn. He passed it under. He pushed it under the rug and said everybody else, a bunch of players did good and all that stuff.
Yep. Glow y'all on it.
What about Maxi Kleber?
Remember Maxi
Kleber, what he was doing beforehand and all that.
Yeah.
Listen, all I remember is Jeff Skinway going off on
giving him
everybody.
One game.
At one game, he went off on everybody. But was silent the rest of the season.
Same reason why we gave Maxi that contract after that one game in the playoffs. Div says, so basically, what we got is a figurehead in Nico due to his reputation to get guys that Cuban can't get, not good guys.
Oh,
Div, man. I don't know which one of these comments to the comment of the day today. Like,
Div, you give that too much to choose from right now, man. You got to just come with just sum your comments up, man. This is crazy.
Div, whatever you took to wake up today, like what you ate, what you drank, let me know.
Let us know.
Yeah, I need to know that. Johnny B said, "Kid is a narcissist." Oh shoot, I gotta click on it first. What you smoke? Johnny B said,
what Div was saying was just so great. You had to keep it up.
Ridiculous. He said, "Kid is a narcissist, just like Cuban, and he's a smart guy. He might have the same job security as Powell."
Ooh, man.
Right.
Shots are being. I gotta get a shot, bro. Because they got her shooting today.
Oh man, the great one.
I gotta turn that up too, bro. Because y'all out here with them
shots. Who's in my ear?
Man.
He said, Div says, Enyi and Luka Sorry,
Hey,
man.
Luka.
I'll make sure I got you because I don't know what Rel be doing. But sorry, man. Luka did have a problem with Powell and McGee and looked at Cuban side out more than once during the season, not understanding what the F we were doing playing them two losers.
I mean,
I remember the
I
famous side eye when we played the Cavaliers. I remember that.
I think Enyi was saying he didn't have a problem with Wood. I don't think he was saying
Yeah. I don't know why he said sorry, man. But he did. Yeah, I think he was adding on to my point, saying that
Okay.
Luka did have a problem with Powell and McGee. That, and I remember, I don't know if I saw this, I heard this in a dream or something, but I heard somewhere that like Kyrie was confused of why Christian Wood wasn't getting more playing time too.
I heard that. Yeah, I heard that a while back too.
I heard players around the league, just in general, were wondering that. What's up with Christian Wood?
Yikes, always.
That's why I said earlier when we were talking about it, like it was just the elephant in the room that wasn't really an elephant in the room. I knew it, but Mavs State media tried to pretend like we didn't know when even the national media was talking about Christian Wood and why wasn't he getting touches? And they have a guy that can give you 17 and 10 on efficiency. Why aren't they using him, Jason Kidd? They don't know.
And then we have weirdos that were trying to freaking rub it in our face, or not really our face, but just like Mavs fans who were like on Wood's side why he didn't get signed till September. It was like, bro, you know how this shit works?
Yep.
Like if I'm as good as Wood, I am not. Well, yeah.
I was about to throw a name out there.
$5. We got the $5. It's over.
Let's just say we got $5 for it. But you said what you just said. We literally just explained this on the members only.
Yeah,
show.
But it's like you don't know. Like if I'm as good as Christian Wood, I am not just gonna sign for league minimum. I'm gonna try my darndest to get any trade so I can get any type of money. But stuff didn't happen, and he's gonna get his 2 years. He got a player option.
But the thing is, though, Enyi,
yourself off.
But the thing is, too, he's gonna get that money regardless of whoever he signed with. So why are you in a hurry to sign it if you're gonna get that money regardless, right?
Yep. So go to the
now
best
you take your time. Yeah, thank you. You take your time. You find the best situation for you. And that's what he did.
LA is going to be on TV all year. They're going to showcase Christian Wood. He can opt out of next year and probably sign back with the Lakers.
That's
or a bigger contract. That's probably what's going to happen. Just letting y'all know before it happens. Div says, please explain to me why would I hire a coach who has shown bad character in the past when I can go for a guy who has shown nothing but character in his past? Just stupid organization, man. Hey,
Div, this is what I said before when we first signed Jason Kidd. I have an argument with my boy Fred and B Black, man. I said this in our little group. I said, bro, I said this. I said, this guy has a track record. He has a track record of this type of stuff happening. This is why I was not sure about signing him. So, yeah, his first year, he did good. But this past season, it was what I was scared of with him when he came into this team. This is what I was scared of.
You said this is why everybody laughed. This is why everybody laughed when Rick Carlisle said Jason Kidd's name out of his mouth and he actually became the head coach.
Yeah.
Because it was like, why would Rick Carlisle try to get you the next best coach if he's having problems with the organization right now? Condescending again. That's the key word for the day, I guess.
Check this out. This last year shown all the bad traits Jason Kidd has. Lack of accountability.
What?
Horrible, how would I put?
Communication.
Communication and etiquette. Bad play calling. ATO being his ATO play calls being complete garbage. I mean, and then to top it off, player mistreatment. The way he talked to the media at the end of the season. I mean, like, there was nothing positive that I could have taken out of that Jason Kidd season. And the only reason I was holding on to like being a Jason Kidd fan was just because he reminds me of my brother. Because they're both bald headed, right? So I'm just like, forget that. My brother's my brother. Jason Kidd is Jason Kidd. And now I'm on you. I'm on you, Jason Kidd. And I'm gonna be a lot more relentless this year on Jason Kidd.
Johnny B says the Lakers are gonna crush us. Let's hope not.
John, you gotta chill, man.
Nah, chill out.
Just keep it to C-Wood crushing the White Power.
Hold up, man. I need to load the gun some more because we got more Div comments. Div said
Jamal. I'm ducking. I don't want Div shooting at me. I'm ducking.
Jamal was treated horrible by Rick Carlisle, who also is overrated piece of ish in my eyes. And who did he endorse? The guy who got fired by Houston. So the bad coaches he praised. He also says, I can see it now, kid, during our losing season this year. I am just a coach. I don't construct the roster. You need to talk to Nico on that.
Oh, he would. You know what, Div? He would do something like that.
That's what he would do. Yeah.
That's what he would do.
He would definitely do something like that.
Dave says, imagine we could right now have freaking sons DeAndre Ayton if kid which wasn't done with stupid McGee signing pissed me off. He also says Cuban will blame Kai. Mavs organization will blame Kai if we fail, or Nico, but national media wanting Luka to leave will attach Luka for failure. Yep, that's what I said.
Bro, it was on. So yeah,
point today.
They're gonna be on Luka, but they're gonna also be trying to
it's trying to get it's putting pressure on Mark Cuban. It's to like, Mark, we're gonna tell you guys trash right now so that he doesn't want to play for you anymore.
They put pressure on Mark Cuban for 21 years, and what did he do?
No, they didn't put pressure. I don't feel like they put pressure on him. Mark always been able to get out.
I'm sorry. Since 2011, they put pressure on him.
Have they?
No.
Have they really though, bro?
I mean,
you know what? You're right.
They let all them years. But go ahead, Enyi.
But getting a marquee player like Luka and a mid-sized market like Dallas, like they're gonna pressure or they're gonna talk shit. But then, but if we go, I think if I'm Luka, like people were saying this mad after the Mavericks were tanking. It's like, if I'm Luka, I will go to New York Knicks, or if I'm Luka, I'll go to the Lakers and stuff like that. I'm like, shut your ass up. Like, why y'all doing this like every time? They're doing that with Embiid now. Like, why? If I'm Embiid, I'm going to New York.
Going to the Knicks, yeah.
Y'all are so goddamn slimy, bro. It's like,
if I'm Otani, I'm going to the Dodgers. Harold says, I'm petty and hold grudges. LOL. Harold says media blames Luka. It's only because he got Otani's picture.
They actually do that though.
Div says, I wish Luka would stand in front of all the players and say Kai's the leader, boys. What he says goes. Kai's the champion and leader. Luka needs to improve his temper before he can lead. I think that's already so. I think it's stuff that doesn't need to be said, Div. Like, I think Kai, when he came there, you saw Tim Hardaway Jr. No, they knew what Kai was, and that's what they said about his championship pedigree. They loved, because Kai is loved by players and all. Like, it's not a problem that Luka's not the leader already. It's just that he has to become a leader. Like, it's go ahead and develop, take your time. That's why you get guys to match your deficiencies. You get guys to help you. So if Kai's a better leader, Kai can play right now and be a leader. He's not just a guy that does community service. He can go play, eat, and then when Luka's ready to lead and learn from him, he can be the leader of the team. That's perfect.
Yeah, Luka's never had an example of someone who's had
not in the league, especially somebody older than him. Well, way older than him. He had a peer in JB, but him and JB were like,
him and Dirk. But I was about to say Dirk was not really a vocal leader. Yeah, that was more Tyson Chandler when he won the championship. Yeah,
that was, and he was hurt, and Dirk was hurt most of a lot of the year. Like, it wasn't
Dirk was like, watch me work, do what I do.
Yeah, it was fun. It was Dirk's last year, just having fun out there and all. He was teaching them how to have fun.
Doing a farewell tour.
Dave also says, right now I will put Joker, Giannis, Luka. Why Luka has higher ceiling, but Luka attitude, temper issues is where those two pass him. This is important for leadership qualities. I agree with that.
That's fair. Like I said, either way y'all want to put it, I still said those three are the best. Either you can put him number 1, number 2, number 3, whatever. I just
feel
like
is it Steph?
I don't know. I told you before. I just know who the best three best in the league. That's all I know.
It's that big of a jump from the 3 European guys.
Yeah.
To the next player.
Yeah.
Wow. The USA in trouble now. They shouldn't have let my man Noah make that comment. He messed up.
Oh, stop it.
He messed up, man, because they're gonna throw out LeBron and all of them next time. LeBron and KD.
LeBron be 45 playing.
Yeah, who knows they can be able to play and not get hurt themselves.
When I tell you, like, all people posting Noah is like, it's like awakening my underdog my complex for USA basketball now. So I'm like, bro, USA, y'all better not fuck around next year. And beat these people by 50 and let the world know. I'm sorry.
If Joker is the best player in the world, as everybody on here basically said, other than me, and Dave as well, and Serbia wins a gold medal without the Joker, why aren't they the best like in the world? Like,
you ain't beating us to the 7-game series.
You can say all that nonsense. It don't matter. They said the Mavericks shouldn't have beat the Heat, but they did. So you got to do.
Once you say that, there's nothing. But
the FIBA is not a 7-game series though. Like, you can't change what their rules. All is one and done. It's like saying in football, like in the NFL, you got to win one. You can't say, well, It'd have been a series. We'd have won. Well, you played one game, so you got to win the one game.
How many times do we see the number one seed in the March Madness win the championship?
But that's why they're not the best team in the world when it's over.
I mean, true, but
that's all I'm saying. Like Serbia, I'm not saying that I even agree with that. I'm just saying like if Serbia wins a gold medal without the best player in the world, that's pretty impressive.
It's impressive. Man. No. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying it's not.
Like why don't they have why can't they claim it? Like that's what I'm saying. Like, why
they're world champion? I'm not saying they can't.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. Why I would say I'm world champions if that would happen.
Put that. Don't even say FIBA world champion. Like put Serbia
world champions.
World champions. Yep. Okay.
Say that, and I'll be like, "Fuck, they got it."
They did what they had to do.
Out of all the teams out of the countries in the world that participated, they bested them in a competition. But in the NBA, where all the best players from around the world go, and they win,
their guy still won the championship with Finals MVP. No, I'm just messing with you. Bro. I know what you said. I know what
you talking about Luka. Okay.
The thing that was grinding my gears too was like people were like, "Oh yeah, this proves what Noah was saying." It's like, no, it freaking doesn't. Like,
it doesn't. It's a reach. It's a reach.
It adds to what the people who were saying. Like,
yes,
these were the best players.
You should have put the best players in the United States in there. That's the issue. The United States is playing their bench players and all instead of their best players.
No, what do you mean?
Austin Reeves, he's him.
Yeah, Austin Reeves.
Yeah, he's.
Oh, you don't do that, bro.
Dave said, but I would never choose those guys over Luka when I'm making a team. That's why I say Luka's the best. That's why y'all really saying Luka the best, but y'all just not saying it. Because if we had Joker on the team right now, would you trade him for Luka?
Yep.
I knew you would. So you're saying Luka's the best player in the NBA. You just don't feel like saying it yet because he doesn't have the accolades. Div says, also the saddest part of all this, we got a generational talent in Luka. And we got Slovenia and Mavs competing on who can put the worst roster up. Yep. Friends right now. Y'all competing. Y'all letting them make light skin, dark skin beef.
Nah, the Mavs roster washes. Let me stop. All right, next comment.
TGK wanted to get involved. You the enemy, TGK. Nancy says that's why Jason Kidd has been a concern for me for a while. Will he put the best players around Luka and Kyrie? We'll see.
And I don't know about him being putting players around him. I think Nico did his job, and it's up to Kid to put him in positions.
Yeah, Harold says Slovenia is not good. The Mavericks haven't been good for how long? A long. I mean,
WCF. We made the WCF.
Well, you got. I mean, if that's considered, Harold, 2 years ago was it?
And then, but they were also good.
But Slovenia only has 2 million people there, and the Mavericks only have 38 people in their training facility. So,
hold on, Enyi, I gotta keep being devil's advocate to Enyi because Slovenia made the tournament too.
Let me stop, man.
Man.
I'm trolling too much.
I'm like,
that was. I thought you were gonna say like 38 million. You said 38 people.
Yeah, that's right. I'm leaving TGK alone, man. Y'all ain't supposed to entertain that. Like TGK's the enemy. I told you.
Hey, I'm chilling, man. I ain't saying no.
I passed by the practice facility yesterday.
Oh my goodness.
It's pretty nice.
We gotta get TGK on that floor with the Slovenian team, so they can go in there. And he'd be like, "Oh, I can shoot threes. Luka better pass. You better hit every one of those threes. Luka pass to you." TGK.
I won't shrink in that moment. I'll hit them.
My man. Shree says Luka is not a loser. He will not abandon his country when it's weak. Him playing now will inspire his nation, just like Dirk. Yeah, did with Germany. I understand that, Shree. That is true. He wants to get
if Slovenia goes to the Olympics, who's gonna be bearing the flag? Who's going to be carrying the flag in opening ceremony? That's an opportunity that very few athletes get. Yeah. And we cannot.
I wish Luka was more worried about being the best player in the world, but he's not. He's just worried about carrying Slovenia, which is cool. It's not an issue. Like, he's worried about getting Slovenia to the next level, which he should be. Like he's patriotic. He's being the martyr for them and all. Like it's a selfish part of me of being like, I just wish he wanted to be the best player in the world for sure.
Yeah. Did y'all see that fake quote that was going around?
Yeah. And they actually some media I think started grabbing on to it.
Yeah.
That shit got me hyped, but I had to like stop myself. I'm like, damn, I come from Dallas.
Come see me in Dallas and we'll see what happens. I'm like, Luka going on, Phil. I'm like, this dude is wilding. That's how he talks.
Yeah, I'm like, let's go. But I was like, wait a minute.
But to Shree's comment, like I know they were responding as I was like dissing Slovenia. But look, I was not saying Luka's a loser, and I'm not saying he's weak because he doesn't want or not wanting him to play for his country. I understand all that, but I adopted Slovenia because of Luka, right? I'm also a Mavs fan. If the Mavs suck and we're on a 20-game skid and Luka's hurt, don't play Luka. Like I would say the same thing for the Mavs. If they don't have a good roster, they don't have a good roster. Slovenia don't got a good roster. There's no excuses. I don't make excuses. We got a sorry owner. We can't fix that. Slovenia only has 2 million people. I can't fix that. It is what it is. Like I'm fair. I'm
give
fair.
out passports or give out citizenships to
Serbia.
You're gonna lose it. You gotta lose yours. You gonna give it up?
Huh?
Go over there and nationalize as being a Slovenian.
No, you can get 2.
You can get dual with Slovenia.
Yeah,
I think it's only certain places.
I'm a dual citizen.
Yeah. Slovenia, though, I'm saying? I thought it was certain places, though. I think it's like, do you know?
I don't know.
I think your parents have to be from said country, or you have to have some kind of connection. Like, I could get a dual citizenship to Mexico.
Yeah, I thought it was only certain countries in America. Like, I don't think it's just every country you can get a dual citizenship with, is what I'm saying.
I thought you could do dual citizenship anywhere.
I don't think you can.
There's some. You're probably right, King. There's some countries.
Yeah, like I said, you might be right. I don't know.
Probably couldn't be a dual citizen of like Russia.
Yeah, I think like Embiid's like he got 3 citizenships. I think.
Man, give Luka a citizenship in the USA so he could play for us.
Oh my god.
Bro,
that's a ring every 2.5. That's a goal that matter every 2.5 seconds.
I would do it if he understood that Slovenia wasn't going to do it. Like Slovenia wouldn't probably make it anywhere close to if Luka played for the U.S. You feel me? Like they wouldn't be involved. He'd just be in the U.S. and be destroying. I don't know if he'd be fine with doing that.
But imagine.
Oh, like, it's over.
I'll be the type of dude who'll be like, yo, if I can do it for Slovenia though, you can't say shit to me.
Yeah. If he wins, he wants to win one. I'm telling you, if he wins one,
he's gonna get one.
He wants to throw it in everybody's face. I'm telling you, he's going to throw it in every player when he's playing.
And I respect that.
He's going to get one.
This part's
going to get one.
I understand that. Like
the caveat is he needs to be fully healthy.
You think he's going to get one for Slovenia though?
If he's fully healthy, he could get one.
Is he going to ever stay fully healthy playing by himself with Slovenia though? That's what I mean. Like, is that going to make him get hurt?
I mean, in the Olympics, he almost got a bronze, right? In the Olympics, he almost got a bronze.
No, that was Eurobasket.
No, it was Olympics. It was Olympics. He almost got a bronze the first time.
Almost got a bronze.
Really?
Yeah, he almost got a bronze. He lost the last second shot with France when they blocked it, and
that was the Olympics.
He was gonna play for gold. Yeah, that was the Olympics.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. That was the Olympics.
What was I thinking? That was Eurobasket.
That was the Olympics, bro.
The next year,
and he was healthy.
Past that game, he'd have played for gold that year.
Oh,
yes, that's
healthy.
That's Luka.
That's crazy.
He was healthy. Imagine if he's healthy in this FIBA tournament.
Yo, you can't tell. Yo, if he came back close to a gold, bro,
that was their first time ever being in the Olympics, and he got to the bronze medal game,
bro. And they lost to Australia, right?
Yeah, if they would have beat France, bro, I would have loved them versus the U.S., man. Like it would have been a different story. I know people said the U.S. just murdered them.
Yeah, when I tell you, I would have been a citizen of Slovenia for a day. If that was the case,
bro, if they would have played each other and he would have won, I think most people would be calling him the best player in the world. Like I think even with anything happening, they'd be like, "Well, it's the Mavericks' fault. We saw what this guy did to the U.S."
This bro just took his neighborhood to the Olympics and almost got it.
That's what I'm saying. If he's healthy, he could do it, man.
He's like, you, let's go.
Let me try to run through the rest. Luka said Jason Kidd playing Luka 44 minutes per game a night, and the NBA didn't help him at all.
True. Totally agree.
Chico said Kai 31. Yeah, I know he's around. He's still over 30. That age is what I'm saying.
Hey man.
Yeah, he young, man. He young.
That's over 30s. We can still do some stuff. Too.
Right. Hell yeah.
My knees hurt.
My knees hurt too. I don't know what they're talking about. Gina Kim said, "Hey fellas, I'm concerned for Luka, but it seems like there's no one to tell him no."
Hey, I'm not gonna be the one to do it.
He really needs a mentor. I understand he wants to keep playing after we tank, but that's too much basketball. Yeah, they probably should just set him out then. Like if he was gonna play this and you were tanking, you should have just set Luka out for a while in the end of the season.
Yeah, and credit to Luka, he still played that one game where it was Slovenia night or whatever. So credit to him.
Man, still playing. He should have just set out like the whole last month though. That's what I'm saying. Like they should have just set his ass out.
I was saying that. Remember, I was like, "Nah, I want to lose 12 straight games. Give me a 7th, 5th, 3rd pick. I don't want 11.
If that was the plan,
imagine what they could have done if they had like the 8th pick.
Boy.
If they did just a 12.
Nico would have been cooking.
GD Mav says the Luka Stalker super fans are peak irritating right now. Mavs fans can't be concerned of 77 injuries, temper, or anything without these cycles going off. Luka's leg and his attitude too. I feel you, GD. Yeah, man.
That's their guy.
I'm just concerned. That's all it is.
You got to understand. Like,
yeah, he is their complete. He's not. LeBron was the economy for a city or even like a state around that area. Luka is the economy for a country.
Yeah. So we have.
Gina Kim said, "I
just have that perspective when you see their wild tweets."
He's also the economy. He's also the economy for the Mavs. Let's be honest. He is the franchise.
He's the franchise.
He is.
He's not like.
Yeah, he's not carrying.
He's not bigger than the Cowboys, though.
Yeah, not bigger than the Cowboys. Yeah,
he's not carrying.
He should be, but he's not.
Yeah,
he's gonna be. He's gonna
carry
be
the city like LeBron carried.
I think he will. I said that when I first met Rel TGK. I said I think Luka can do it. And they were like, "There's no way. There's no way." I'm saying if you got a guy that's generational, like one of those Michael Jordan type guys, and all, they will do that. That one guy can do it.
Dirk low key did it.
Conda was the city. He close to it.
If we have a Mount Rushmore of Dallas athletes, Dirk is
number one.
There. Yep.
Staubach with all them Cowboys, Dirk is still on.
Madonna.
But
Madonna's probably outside looking in though.
The thing about it is,
and you saying that, I'm not mad at that. I mean,
Madonna's
be right.
As great as he was, he's probably outside looking in. But I know
the Cowboys
is Dirk.
The Cowboys, if they weren't number one on Forbes, considering they're going on almost 30 years of no Super Bowl, people would be like, "Man, that's a poverty franchise. Like, what the hell is that?" You know what I'm saying? The Mavericks have won a championship.
You said the New York Knicks. Shout out to Gina Kim said, "I also think he needs a mental break. He might be a dog, but sometimes or most of the time he lets things get to his head." True.
Yeah.
Johnny B said, "Keeping it solid. I cheered for Germany against the US yesterday." Hey man, I kind of wanted to see him lose to the bum guys out there. I was like, not bums. I'm sorry, but those not A guys. That was like a C team out there.
Schroeder was shredding the shakes, man.
Hey. After all that crap he was talking at the beginning about Max not wanting Max.
He backing it
up.
We got game. Got to respect game.
I told you again. Look at the team. Then, if that guy's saying that Maxey trash, we gave him $11 million over 3 for each year for 3 years. So
damn, can't even play for your own country. That's crazy.
Everyone's saying he was dumb for not wanting Maxey to play.
Shree sound like your boy Skin. Shree says Luka just need that shot for him to grow. If NBA ejects him for 2 to 3 regular season games, which causes them to lose, he will grow up quick because more than anything, he hates losing. Somebody got to yell at Luka. I ain't gonna front to you. Somebody got to be not afraid to yell at him. And I don't mean yell at him as far as being derogatory or making it like saying evil stuff, but like you got to be willing to treat him like he a kid when he being a kid.
Put me on the team. I'll do it.
Who is the closest person that can do that?
I was hoping J Kidd, but hopefully it's Kyrie.
He
got a contract.
I hope it's Kyrie. Raise his voice. Yeah.
I hope it's Kyrie.
I don't see Kyrie raising his voice like that.
No, Kyrie can look though. It's like certain people got to look.
Like your mom used to do. Your mom give you that look.
I mean, so if not yell at him, like shake him, give him a good shake.
Yeah, it'll be Omax. It'll be Omax.
Cool. It'd be hold up.
Yeah,
sure. Hey, I don't care if it's Derek Lively in them. If Derek Lively, Tyson Chandler from the get go, and Tyson telling him, "Bro, you need to go yell at."
Ain't no.
They gave him. He's a first round draft pick. He's supposed to be the anchor of the defense. Go do it,
rookie.
That's a way to get some respect.
That's how you establish yourself as the anchor and the guy on the team. You have to yell at him like Dodo did. Dodo was yelling.
You have to understand, Luka has been that guy.
I feel you. Somebody got to do it, Enyi.
No, I'm saying someone's got to do it, but someone has to have that respect. And ain't no rookie is going at a dude that's been that guy since he's 17.
If he's special, he will. You thinking about Lively not being special? If he Tyson Chandler,
if he came in like Walker, Texas Ranger, whatever the hell his name is,
I'm telling you, can happen.
You'd be like.
I think from the perspective that like Luka's like, damn, this rookie is willing to speak to me. He's showing me he cares as much as I care about this game. So I F with that. Like that. All right, I got my respect.
Right.
Have y'all been around professional athletes?
Hold on.
No, I was about to say,
Lively has to step up. Lively has to so Lively can't do this if he's not performing. So if Lively comes in and becomes that dude, like if Lively comes in and he's like being a center and we're like, damn, we got a center now. He's doing his thing. We know Lively is that dude. Then Lively gets the right now to start talking and all that stuff. Like you got to show production matters. He can't do it if he hasn't played yet and none of that stuff. But if Lively is part of our team turning around, we look and he's an identity now. We like, damn, Lively is the truth now. He can talk to Luka like, bro, go out there and do it. Run the team. You the anchor. Run it.
Frank said Grant. I like that one. Grant.
Grant Williams can do it too.
Maybe Grant.
It's just
Grant also has a reputation of being quite annoying.
But I think if Luka if he respects you, I think it'll go a long way. He respects Kyrie. I think Kyrie can go about it a different way where it's not yelling at him. It's just more like, hey, man, right now we need you.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Maybe give him a good shake.
Putting him back
like we need you right now, Luka. Like snap out of it, bro. We need you.
It's like, hey, come back.
Yeah. Give him some
definitely not Dwight Powell. We don't need no powwows.
Hey man, you got shut up.
You said wow. Koi said, I just checked. Yes, he had Tommy John surgery June 18th. Damn, Koi on these Rangers today for the second time. I'm sorry, Ro. And also, even if Otani as a DH, I want him definitely. I ain't saying nothing. I told you we've been quietly good the whole year. I ain't saying nothing until we win the World Series. Y'all can come join the bandwagon though. Spots for y'all. I mean, I am a Baltimore guy on the show. Y'all can come give me love, you know.
All right, I'll jump on the bandwagon.
Gina Kim said, I saw an argument on if Luka is better than Steph. I say he is right now, but all time not yet. They tried saying Luka doesn't make his teammates better because Brunson and KP, he's a cone on defense. She says he can't play off ball and only stands in the corner. He was always a primary defender, especially in the EuroLeague. So he doesn't like or want to pass the ball. To me, it just sounded like they watch highlights and not full Mavs games, using the excuse that he had shooters like JB and KP showed that. Look at our starting center. I would love to see Steph play with 22, 23 Mavs team. I agree, Gina Kim. Steph, it's a difference between now and all time. Luka's way better than Steph right now, I feel like.
Yeah,
all time, Steph is the second best point guard of all time. Though.
Not even an if or a maybe. It's not even.
I really listen, man. I gotta do this again. I gotta get those shots because people every time they throw shots at Luka, I gotta throw shots back. Listen, man. People always go off of 1 year that they see with somebody and say, "Oh, that was how that person was the whole entire time." Like Gina just said, that's how I know you never watched a Maverick game. JB didn't become JB until his last year with the Dallas Mavericks.
Exactly. Yeah,
KP didn't start looking like KP or some form of KP until he had that 1 year with Washington. Now all of a sudden they take those 1 years and make it a culmination of this whole entire time they've been good like this. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the part that gets me about this.
Bro, narratives are a very powerful thing. That's why people who run for presidency literally try to construct whatever narrative, whatever fake, false, whatever the hell they can, because they know people won't do research and stuff about it. But we have to be better as consumers of the game to really be like, F what these people are trying, especially when someone like Mark, especially when it's like people who are heads of the organization and even players too. Let's be real. And when they are, trying to give you information, you have to look at it as, of course he will say this because he's the owner of the team. What are the numbers telling me? What is this telling me? What is that telling me? That if it lines up to what Mark says, then cool. But we all know that sometimes shit's different. Shit's different. So
Johnny B.
Let's try to get through like.
I got to pitch real quick.
I got you. Johnny B said, well, since we know the U.S. are going to leave number 4 in FIBA after they lose to Canada, can we admit Trevor Lyles was right? Is it Trevor or Noah?
Your Enyi said no.
Gina Kim said, there's a reason why Luka is the most doubled in the NBA. He can score from anywhere. Featuring or free throws can be iffy. I'm like featuring 50. I wish he had a Clay, Draymond, or a center that can actually rebound. Imagine the second chance points. Yes. Mav says firing full auto shots at I ain't gonna say that. I ain't gonna give no advertisement. The real ones know what's up.
No comments.
GD Mav said, hey, I ain't stopping y'all. Fire away, lads. Thank you. Harold says, please don't criticize Gina Kim said, "Is there a way you guys can interview the players? We need people." Well, Gina Kim, please,
please,
you get us out there to do that.
We need
tell these guys
when that happen. We need all you guys to like,
subscribe, and share, and all that.
Put this mug out there because we won't. They will not have other teammates trying to draw Luka's logo.
I'm gonna have them drawing Kyrie's new logo. That's what I'm gonna have them doing.
I'm gonna have them predicting the Dwight Powell stats. Maxie, do you know what the Dwight Powell average last year?
Oh man,
write it down for me. Give me the numbers. Give me a piece of paper.
No,
give me the paper. Say write it down. He's like,
that's when the Mavs PR team gonna be like, hey, King, can you come out here right quick? When
they're gonna say, I'm done. Never again.
You guys be walking out like Cuba getting.
Johnny B said, who does Dallas use to guard the Lakers lineup of Braun, Reeves, Vando, AD, and Wood? Kyrie, Luka, Josh Green, Grant Williams, and
you have
so
here. Okay, so you will have
put Grant on AD.
Yeah, Grant's on
Josh
AD.
on Reeves.
Fuck.
Bro, play to your strengths, man. What's our best lineup? You play the best lineup. Have
So
the Lakers try to beat us.
Grant on AD. Josh would probably
get Braun. Josh can probably play Braun.
Yeah.
No, Luka could guard Braun.
In situations, he ain't gonna defend him the whole game.
He's 45 years old now. Luka could keep up.
Josh Green gonna play Braun.
I'll low key put Luka on Reeves.
Bro, on the low though. How about this one? Y'all gonna be like, wow. I'd put Grant on Braun and put Josh on AD.
Low key.
We did see Josh.
I think AD is set out there and still not try to take advantage of it.
Who's going to get him bumping in minutes? That game, Omax.
Omax would.
On AD.
But you do know who's getting exposed. It's going to be Christian Wood because Luka and Kyrie going to ISO that to death.
Oh, absolutely. Richard says, good morning, everyone. Overslept. We'll have to rewatch
Richard.
Later. No problem, Richard.
What up, Richard?
How
Big J.
You oversleep, Richard?
Glow Yard Game. He on color people time. He said if Wood didn't know how to play defense, you had a tan, Richard, how to play defense. Why couldn't the coach him?
Exactly. Like, what is going on?
So you're saying the coach needs a coach. That's what you're trying to say. Okay, gotcha.
I think accountability.
What do you mean I need to do my job?
Man, I really wish Wood didn't hurt his finger that one game. Yeah. After that, kid started cutting his minutes, and Joel had looked good with Kai after he came. Pause. Why not try those lineups with both? Yes. As far as Wood, Jason Kidd looked for a reason to get rid of him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what we said. Richard says, LOL, I like that. Let Luka control the Cuban possibly. I don't think nobody controls Cuban. G2 said, look, I get how Wood.
I think Luka can control Cuban.
He can, but I don't think yet. Not yet. Luka has to start saying F you. Like when Luka ready to start being mean, that's when he can do it.
Like that's the moneymaker right now.
Yep.
That's
G2
moneymaker.
Look, I get how Wood was treated not fairly by the Mavs, but I also note this is Wood's 6th-7th team in 8 years, and all reports leaving are coming. Hold on. Let me say this one thing, and then you can have it, Enyi. Everyone, I want y'all to go look up how many teams Moses Malone was on. I said that on the members only show yesterday. I want you to go how many, because do you know off the top of your head, Enyi, how many teams he's on?
I have no idea.
He's on 10.
10.
Moses Malone, one of the greatest centers of all time, 3-time MVP, champion.
Hall of Famer.
10 different teams. 10.
People need
how many teams James Harden been on the last 3 years?
I was giving somebody that's like a Hall of Famer. I don't even want James Harden a Hall of Famer too, but I mean champion and all that. Champion and all. I was trying to go somebody like.
The way I look at it is some people have different routes on how they get established in the league.
Yep.
Some people it takes a little longer. Some people, yeah.
What's that word you use?
Not every time someone gets drafted, and
Context.
then they get drafted to the team and they stay on this team and then maybe they move whatever. But they are always been established. Some people have to fight for minutes. Some people, JJ Barea was in the G League. Therefore, is that automatically he was not a good player? No. Like
so, look, I'm gonna say this.
People have different routes to how to get in the league. He was 6 and 7 different teams in 8 years. Correct me if I'm wrong. Detroit wanted to keep him.
Yeah. Shout out to Larry.
Right? They were trying, but he wanted to get his money and also play with James Harden.
Listen, let me say this. We can move on, bro.
Before James Harden, the fat suit.
Exactly, Enyi. I'm gonna say this, man, because that right there, what G2 just used is the same narrative that we see. Thank you. It's the same narrative that we hear. You know, I was gonna compare this to a real life issue, but I'm not gonna touch it on here. But the fact that right there, 6-7 teams. The 6 or 7 teams he played on, like Enyi said, he was not established yet. He didn't get established until Detroit. Mm-hmm. And we had the same conversation yesterday on the members only show with Larry. Detroit, and he actually looked it up and backed up what we were talking about. Detroit wanted to keep Christian Wood. Christian Wood wanted to go to a winning situation where a team was a perennial playoff team, which is why he went to Houston.
Yep.
When he went to Houston, not only did he have a rookie coach in Stephen Silas, but they also did not expect for James Harden to say, you know what, I want out of here. Mm-hmm. So when James Harden got out of there, exactly. So when James Harden left, that's when all hell broke loose. That's when things went downhill. Yeah. Christian Wood was not expecting to be signed up for another rebuild. If that's the case, he could have just stayed in Detroit.
Yep. And he was undrafted from the get-go. So
then he was undrafted.
He was an undrafted player at the beginning. It wasn't a drafted guy that was.
Don't the Mavericks love undrafted players? Like, what the hell?
The Mavericks hold on to theirs. Mavericks hold on to their undrafted players because they're the only people that would want the players. See, Wood was able to go somewhere else because he can get a better opportunity, and they crucify him for it. But Big J says, so Johnny Bravo, you think Kid and Dwight making a Cuban sandwich? Oh, man.
Hey, yo.
Big J said Kid makes no in-game adjustments. He literally just rolls the ball out. You can see when Luka was out.
He doesn't coach. He literally said it himself.
Right or green to be Luka. He is not X and O's. Not at all. Div says
nobody died, though.
Nobody died. Cuban is smart in this way. One way. He knows if I go to talk shows, they will never attack me, knowing I might go on the show they produce. So Stephen A., etc., will never really go after Cuban. Only Skip. But you see, they got at each other and they stopped that. Richard says, on Kid, the silly saying, well, I'm from Mississippi, so kind of used to them. But when you don't put players in the best place to succeed, or you put your ego in front of the team, well, that's unforgivable. Yep.
Ego death.
That's not what coaches are supposed to do. Low key, that's not what players are supposed to do.
Johnny, nobody brings that up though. But go ahead.
Mm-hmm. Nobody died though.
If I have a beef with the player and I'm sharing a court with them, I'm still passing them the ball.
Yes. Shaq and Kobe. Johnny B said Halliburton got shook and fell like he slid out of bounds and got hit with the game stealing 3 versus Germany. I haven't seen any of that footage on any shows. If it was the other way around, it'd be everywhere.
That's your boy, Johnny.
Yeah. Harold says Wood special shout out after winning with the Lakers. I want to thank Jason Kidd for nothing. Wife.
Oh, whoa. Harold.
Y'all be going in, man. Y'all trying to get us never.
I don't bring up the personal.
Keep it on the court, Harold.
Keep it on the court, man.
That's why I says is Jovic as good as Joker, or that's why they are doing good. No, he ain't as good, but Richard, you know I've been on that train, Richard. That boy beast, man.
Go. And Denny.
Div says pretender coaches like her is why USA lost. That talent should never lose against any of the current teams. It is coaching. Having little guards is an attacking option for opposition. I don't know. I think it's part of the players as well, man. Like Jaren Jackson Jr., their leading rebounder was Josh Hart.
Yep.
And they can't rebound. That's crazy, bro.
Crazy. That's why I watch rebound. I tell you what Miles Turner. We just had that conversation. Nobody ever pays attention to rebounding unless it's Dirk. Like Jaren.
Hold on. And what Jaren Jackson known for, King?
Not rebounded. He good for defense and all that though.
Yeah, defense, right?
You don't rebound though.
Oh, gotcha. Shout out to Larry.
Shout out to guys like Jermaine O'Neal and all that. Rasheed Wallace that couldn't rebound as well, but for some reason only Dirk. Gina Kim said, I feel like Kid was also trolling media, but it wasn't funny. I don't understand why Mark and Kid were so caught up on Twitter coaches and not focusing on the flaws of their team. Nancy says,
then that means it'll be accountability. That's why, Gina.
Nancy says Kyrie is a lot better leader than a lot of people give him credit for. That's why all the players in Brooklyn loved him. C. Wood even said in an interview last year that Kyrie was one that when they were on the road and they were going through that losing streak, he was the one that reached out to everybody to make sure everybody was good and was keeping track of everyone. I believe it. Richard says Slovenia found Toby. They get Victor back. They need to find one more player. They still want to be bad, not having Victor hurt. Don't let it. I mean, Victor, who that? Concha, right?
Oh yeah. Contra.
He a role player that tore his ACL. I'm not even going like
man.
Slovenia hoping for him to be their savior.
Nah, imagine like you're a role player on the NBA and never mind. Let me stop. All right, next.
It's like the White Power tearing his ACL. Let's keep it real. Like you feel me? Like that ain't going. Ben said he's the Glow Yard gang member. Slovenia has 2 million people. The fact they are able to get this far or even have the players they have is amazing in itself. If Yugoslavia return as a nation, serve Slovenia is y'all put them together. Did you go again?
Oh, yeah. Bring back Slavia.
You're right. You are.
Slavia.
Gina says, all I know is kid better not have Kyle Luka standing in the corner waiting on shots. If that's the case, they can catch or coach themselves and all call the team plays instead.
Cuban, according to Cuban, he said Kyrie can do that.
Knows when to stand in the corner.
What's going to happen?
I think it's for you, Enyi. Look, man, I'm the biggest Powell hater, but if you ask me about putting my hard-earned money down, no offense, I think Powell will make you his little kid on the court in a one-on-one. Hold up. Hold on.
I'm just kidding.
I didn't say I was thinking that, but I think Powell will cook all 4 of us at the same time.
He will beat me in every facet of the game.
Nah, he ain't beat me on no 3-point shootout. So
yes, he will. Yes, he will.
He ain't touching me.
Yeah, he will. I think JaVale McGee could beat you too. They ain't like your game, bro. I'm just telling you, these dudes will sit there. You watch them in practice and all, and just hit.
I'm just messing around.
I've had runs.
It's my ego.
Wow. That's what I'm saying.
I'll have to tell people because sometimes people legit don't know that I've done runs with G League players, and those dudes will cook.
Yeah, I did too.
Effortlessly, regular civilians like us.
I play with some G League dudes too, man. Like dudes that going to the league that played and still in college, man.
Them dudes that run the gym, they didn't make the league. Yeah, so if they didn't make the league, what you think people that make the league going to do to you when they come to the gym?
Yeah,
I cooked this one dude from Baylor one time, but that's the closest I got. I cooked him. I cooked him.
Was it Quincy AC?
And maybe because he didn't think I had game, but I cooked the F out of him, bro. Like, it was crazy.
Was it AC? Was it AC Law?
He was the walk on.
No, it was AC Law.
He was a 6'8" dude, and after I won, I didn't want a rematch. I was like, no, I'm good. Like I got my dip. I'm out of here.
As you shouldn't. They got to beat Jordan that one time. Didn't get a rematch either.
He was gonna put me in the post. I already know. I was like, nah, I'm good.
Nancy,
let's get like 5 more in, Keenan. We can call it.
All right, 5. I got you. Nancy says, I'm only gonna try answer one from different people right now, so being the last ones. She says, plus fans and people forget that Luka also reached out to Kyrie and was in touch with him during the offseason as well. When they asked Luka what does he learn about Kyrie, he didn't know about him. 2 things he said was not everything you hear is true and how peaceful he is. So I think his peace and calmness can help Luka maybe this year. I agree. 1. Gina Kim said, if Luka plays for the USA, it's over. But I feel like if he does, he wouldn't be as motivated because it's not his country. He still be going off. It don't even matter if it's not a country. He can come in and give DeAndre Ayton effort, and he'd still win the gold medal with the US. Gina can great. In the words, great words of Noah Lyles, champions of what? Frank says Grant is the guy to be in the guy's ears plus their buddies, so that guy to call Luka out. Yes, I agree with that. Dave also says Luka's dad needs to grab Luka by the back of the neck. Looks like he can even lift him up and tell him something new about it. Like he lift Luka with one arm like a cat, bro. Like he's like, like you get that's what's his name? What's the guy named Incredible? Incredible and all, yeah. That's what he looked like.
Yeah.
Richard says Josh, LOL. I guess you're talking about Josh defending, and this will be the last one, defending AD. I'm telling you, I think AD would just do some shooting.
I think it's talking about tell Luka.
Okay. As far as absolutely not. Not Josh. Harold says Japan, China, North Korea, etc. doesn't allow dual citizenship. You have to renounce citizenship if your land apply. I thought so. Thank you, Harold. Everywhere, not just dual citizenship. I don't think so.
Jesus.
North Korea definitely.
It would be over in Asia. Huh? No. You gotta claim us.
Yeah.
It will be North Korea. It's crazy.
Exactly. But yeah, man, it's gonna probably do it, guys. We apologize. We didn't get to everybody's questions and comments, man. We definitely appreciate the interaction with everybody.
Send them on Twitter too, y'all. if you never if you don't get your questions answered, just copy them and paste them and send them to us on Twitter. We'll definitely answer that.
Facts.
Yes, sir.
I ain't got nothing else to do but be on Twitter.
Answer Twitter. Yeah.
Yep.
But yeah,
I swear.
He's still here, man. But yeah, man, listen, guys, we will be back here again on Tuesday, man. We definitely appreciate everybody rocking with us for a brand spanking new one. We appreciate our guests, Enyi and TGK, for joining us, guys.
Yes, sir.
Listen, man, if you guys are brand new to the channel, if you're into Dallas Mavericks content.
Woo. Sorry, I ain't know it was
loud. Loud. Yeah, that's loud.
I had to turn it up in the crowd, bro.
Hey, I had to turn it up for them shots, though. You know what I'm saying?
I had to turn the applause sign off. That was horrible.
But yeah. Listen, guys, if you're brand new to the channel, into Dallas Mavericks content, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And everybody watching right now, please hit that like button, man. It doesn't cost you anything. It's very easy. Just press of a button. Also, for the people who are watching us on TGK TV, guys, go ahead and subscribe to TGK's channel too.
Oh yeah,
hit that subscribe button. Yeah, we got the simulcast in here, man. Shout out to the TGKians, the G units out there, man.
Shout out to Queen. Shout out to Queen. Shout out to Queen for that.
Yeah,
shout out to Queen.
But yeah, and also too, man, follow us on all our socials, guys. We have all the links down below. I have Enyi and TGK's information down below. You guys can follow them on YouTube and you can follow them on Twitter. I'm sorry, X. I'm still say Twitter. I'm calling Twitter.
Yeah, we're still on Twitter.
I'm still calling Twitter.
If Des Bryant could get some compensation, then I'll call it X.
Exactly. But yeah, man. Also too, guys, you guys can find our merch and stuff like that too on our Twitter page, or you can find it on our YouTube page and go over to our About tab on our YouTube page, scroll down to Glow Merch, click on the link, and it'll take you to our channel merch and get stuff like this right here, the Trash Can Juice t-shirts and other things.
And TGK's the screen, he fancy.
Yeah, TGK, he got his stuff on the screen. I'm still trying to figure out how we can do that. Also too, this will be up in podcast form for those listening to us in podcast. We definitely appreciate y'all too. I see the numbers still growing. Appreciate y'all. Enyi, you got anything you want to add, man, before we go?
Nah, man, just subscribe to all the channels, TGK, We Talk Mavs, Dallas Prospect. Even listen to our friends over outside Mavs or Mavs Outsiders.
Mavs Outsiders, yeah.
Shout out to Bibbs and Reese. And appreciate y'all. Love y'all. Thanks for letting us talk Mavs with you guys.
Yes, sir. TGK, you got anything you want to add before we go?
Yeah, man. 1 month. 1 month from the NBA started, man. Let's get hyped.
Listen, I'm happy about the training camp.
Time we talk about Cuban and Dwight Powell, like it's about to go down, man. I'm so excited for the season, dog. So.
Oh, y'all ain't watching the Rangers?
Oh yeah.
You know what? The Rangers did his job. The Rangers got me to football season, and football is gonna roll over.
And you don't answer that question, bro.
Bro, you ain't watching the Rangers no more, bro. You done?
Yeah, here with the shots, man.
I ain't say no shots. I ain't say nothing about the Orioles today. Nothing.
I'm an Orioles fan now.
It's been Ranger shots all day. It's all good. Yeah. Listen, man. With all that being said, guys,
footballers, if you had Cooper Kupp on your lineup, bad news just came rolling in.
Ooh, what happened?
IR, baby.
Ooh.
No, and he was like my first round pick too.
Yeah.
Oh man, that sucks. But yeah, man. Yeah. With all that being said, guys, it is your boy Real. Got my boy King. I got Enyi of the Dallas Prospects. I got TGK of TGK TV.
Yes,
this is We Talk Mavs.
TGK.
We talk.
TGK. My man, go ahead.
Well, we talk from a fan's perspective. We will be back here on Tuesday, guys. Same map time, same map channel. Go Mavs, and we out.